Greetings and salutations, Dark Watchers and player characters, and welcome back to another episode of our weekly live stream play of D&D 5th Edition, Pact Tactics, where I, your DM John, leads you through the world of Etharis, graciously provided by the folks over at Ghostfire Gaming, and our players all experience what's going on. To introduce our players, we have Mason playing Gavin Velibrath. We have Ray and Rose playing James and Lizette Barlow, the brother and sister hunter team. We have Brian playing Narok the Barrackist. And we have Douglas playing Edward Catechus Coli. Now, last week, in review, you all had found yourself on the way back from this smuggling episode where you were hired as guards, and through various bits of misfortune that we went over briefly, you, two other guards, and your boss have survived thus far, returning your payment back to the country of Rievo. You had crossed the war lines into the lower country of Soma, where the sun doesn't shine and the dead rise. And you have found yourself taking shelter in a small cave. And within this cave, you found out that neither one of your friends, the other two surviving guards, Dearden, or the other guard, Hilda, had checked out the back of this cave. And when you, finding this out, you've explored the back of the cave, you found a wall of vegetation that was covering this body that had rotted. Examining the body, it appeared to be dead for much longer than was possible. And pushing through this, you found that these were draping, hanging vines instead of vegetation growing on the wall that was purposefully put there to cover a smuggler's den. And inside this smuggler's den, you found a large chest and very many long rotted barrels of whiskey. You discovered the cause of the rot was 4 violet fungus that had moved into this cave. And for some reason, inside the chest, there was undead, resurrected by the latent necromantic energies of Astoya itself. And these undead, they had their hands cut off, and they were inside this chest that was filled with gold, with a letter showing that this chest was taxes collected from a city called Anvamir that none of you are really familiar with. But the note did say that this was the second collection of taxes this year. And through Gavin's knowledge of the way that nobility behaves in proper court, if these taxes aren't returned or given to the nobles that they were meant to go to, they would very easily bleed the town dry for a third tax this year. That is where we left off. They had brought the chest forward and were discussing what to do with it. And Narok, who revealed a very interesting secret about himself, found himself very tired and curled up in a ball and went to sleep. And with that, let's begin.
So we're picking up that night, or are we resting through the night?
We had left off before you all took a rest. You can say, hey, I'm going to go to sleep, and then you'll just go to sleep.
All right.
Edward Coli is going to be spending about an hour tending to anybody that needs it, using my medic feat to take care of any grievous wounds. I think the only person that really took anything major was our guard friend that we had.
Yeah, he had taken a nasty spell where this violet fungus disemboweled him and eviscerated him across the guts. But you sewed him up as best as you can in the field. you're starting to get a little bit irritated because as you keep trying to pull things out of your medical kit, you keep finding black feathers.
I just constantly throw them off to the side or stuff them into one of my many pockets on my cloak, and I just keep mumbling to myself every time I go and I reach for a scalpel or my thread and twine and I pull out more feathers, just getting more and more irritated.
Okay. While he's doing this, what would the rest of you like to do? As a reminder, Gavin was standing by the chest and he was discussing with everybody the merits of returning this chest to Andromir, wherever that may be or not. And your boss Felix was over there saying, I've never been to Andromir. I don't know these people. We've got this money. We should split it and go.
While talking, 'cause I was sitting there talking with Gavin while we were talking about this. Can I try to repair one of the notch on my whip while I'm talking?
You can go ahead and start
Okay.
working on that over the course of the night.
Okay.
When I ask for camping activities, you can definitely do that.
Okay.
Well, since everyone seems to be busy at the moment, we're all a little bit tired. Perhaps it'd be best for us to discuss this circumstance with the chest tomorrow when everyone is able to be involved.
Seems fair. Discuss it when everyone's around.
Yes, I can certainly see that some people are possibly not in the best mindset and may require rest. And he's kind of glancing a little bit at James, and then also glancing over at Narak, who's passed out.
Darren, he's just staring at Narok, never breaking eye contact with him. He's got his back up against the wall. He has his crossbow in his lap, and he's just sort of nodding on and off out of consciousness.
Darren, you know they smell fear, right?
I ain't scared. I'm never scared. You're scared.
No, my brother and I have taken down many monsters. They smell fear.
You smell. Leave me alone.
That's right, Darren. You don't have to take anything like that. You smell just fine of urine and blood. Good smell. Wards off other things. Anyway, let me see those stitches one more time. Lift up your shoulder. There you go. And I'm gonna keep looking.
Yep.
Well then, I'm going to set up my tent, and I suppose we will take to rest. Is there any other activities we need to do? Should we set up a watch through the course of the night?
Who would you like to designate as your lookout?
James is gonna be staying up for a while.
All right, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Perception
And you can go ahead and roll a leather workers tools check
It's intelligence and proficiency.
if you're proficient.
here. That'll be a soft 20, by the way.
All right, understood.
Okay.
Natural 20. The Barlow twins rolling hot again tonight. Not twins, I'm sorry. The Barlow family.
I'm older by actual years.
Possibly reminds him of it too.
Well, I'm not like an older twin. I'm actually older. Like, I was an only child at one point before he came along and ruined it. Kind of situation.
So you all are all settling in to go to sleep while James is taking a watch. James, you settle in, and as you're settling in and you're looking out, the cool breeze of the night is a nice contrast to the fading warmth to the fire behind you, and you hear the cacophonous breathing and snoring of your comrades, and you feel like you're missing something. You know exactly what it is you're missing. However, the rest of you, as you sleep, since you've gotten into Soma, you haven't slept well. It seems like every night you're haunted by these two strange figures. One stands this deep, dark, blue-green Narok. It reminds you of the northern seas when you see this figure. It's humanoid in shape, and it's standing there, completely blurred out, like it's not fully phased in where it's supposed to be. Can't make out any features, but it seems to be walking and reaching out and trying to grab you. And you each experience this in one form or fashion every night since you've crossed over into Soma. These figures reaching out to grab you, the two of them. When you wake up, you don't feel like you've gotten a full night's rest, and you feel like you feel dirty. You feel like you've been touched. You feel like you've been invaded somehow. The Barlow siblings in particular, sleep is the greatest expression for you. Sleep is whenever you can reach out and, like Inception pretty much, you can shape the world around you. And for you, you can see each other when you're sleeping perfectly clearly, but everything else is these shrouded figures all reaching for you or recoiling from you, unable to ascend like an infant, unable to connect in dreams the way dreamers do. And your nights, with the exception of each other's perfect company, is filled with this sonorous, deep-seated thrum, this humming that is incessant, because they can't. Are they too stupid? Are they not smart enough to ascend? Why can't they ascend? So that's the night for the two Barlows. The rest of you experience those two figures reaching out and trying to chase you down, and you wake up feeling dirty. And that's happened every night, and it happens tonight without fail. One is, I'm sorry, I realized I skipped a detail. One is that color of seawater, the other is a bright red. But over the course of the night, throughout your watches and everything, nothing abnormal happens. Relatively, it's rather peaceful in this cave. Tilda and Daredin did a good job finding an area that well, there wasn't a bear that lived in here.
Yeah, it was just killer plants. Just killer plants.
Kept the bear away
It did keep the bear away.
until the player characters collapsed.
Well, Lizette and James are both sleeping and they're together in this dream space. James would actually like to talk to his sister.
Absolutely, you can do that. During this dream space, you and her are connected in a way that it's normal for your people, but it is a connection that you don't feel anywhere else. It's like you two are the same being. You have the same feelings. You can sense the same things. Ideas and thoughts are shared freely between the two of you.
Lizzie, do you understand why I don't trust Noir?
I don't trust him either. I thought we were doing good Inquisitor, bad Inquisitor, like before. He doesn't trust you, and then he likes me.
I'm just touching base, that's all. Making sure we understand each other.
Well, we don't make the big thing angry.
No.
It's easier to control him if he likes us. He's
Right.
not one to manipulate.
I understand that. In the future, would you not take my gun out of my hand? That was quite a little demoralizing in the middle of a fight.
I thought you were actually going to shoot him. I didn't think you understood the plan yet.
Oh, I was, and you could tell me your plan any time, remember? We can speak to each other without anyone else hearing it.
I keep forgetting that. Sometimes we have these conversations that are all in our head, then I forget to say them out loud to other people. Very complicated when no one else can talk in their head.
That can be difficult sometimes. Like leaving a letter unread, or read and not replying for hours. But I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page here.
Yes, good Inquisitor, bad Inquisitor.
All right.
He doesn't like you, but he trusts me. Or that's the goal, at least.
Keep an eye on the doctor and Gavin. I can't place my finger on it, but I think there's something about them. Something not natural. Magic. Arcane.
Quite strange, though, but, I mean, aren't all doctors?
I think this one in particular seems, well, seems mad. For such a young man.
I'm more worried about the doctor harming us than I am the bear.
Right, it's their magics I'm worried about. If they have some, thought I've seen something out of the corner of my eye, but nothing solid. Other than that, are you all right?
Sometimes. What do you think about the money? I don't think we should return it.
Well, I think we should see how old it is.
People don't like our kind anyway. I don't see why we should help them at all.
Right, but it could lead, they had a point, it could lead to favor in the town if we suddenly return money to them. But I think if they've been taxed a third time, this money's gone. Why couldn't it line our pockets and we spend a little in town?
Probably shouldn't spend it in their town.
Well, we're brave road warriors and adventurers. We're the ones that risk everything for a little bit of coin, so I can imagine them expecting us to have it.
They didn't even let us in the town last time.
Maybe our newfound heavyweight will let us in. But I really think we should know how old it is. If it's their current taxes, we should find a way to return it. If it is old, that money's gone.
Well, if it's current, hopefully it's not in the opposite direction of where we're headed.
That's another thing to worry about as well. Which direction we are going versus the money that, depending on which way that money's heading versus where we're going. But like you said, the opposite direction. That money should be finders. A reward for liberating and purging this cave of its undeadly inhabitants.
If the town is also located near the dawn, we should avoid that as well and just keep it.
Did you hear? I agree. We should at least get rid of that chest, though. We don't need no Crimson Court coming down on us. Either way.
No, we have enough problems of our own as it is.
I don't want them to get a scent of your trail.
Smarter point. I had not considered that.
It's strange, and neither of you have said anything to each other about it as of yet. But during these special times of connection, during these dreams, James, radiating from your sister, you feel hunger all the time. And Lizette, you feel heat like a fire
From me or from my brother?
from your brother.
This has happened all the time? Or...
For the past few weeks. The peace that you usually feel in dreams is interrupted by the sonorous thrumming from all of these lesser races. But the great and powerful connection that is the ancient art of dreaming still gives you some peace, but you feel fire and James feels hunger.
Lizzie, you're not by chance hungry, are you? You're okay in that regard.
When was the last time I've eaten?
It's about time, about 2 weeks ago, before this started.
No, I'm pretty hungry, but I'm usually hungry, though. You might need to have the doctor look at you. You're pretty warm. You might have a fever. Last person that had a fever died.
This is true, and I don't feel unwell at all. And quite frankly, he might take an arm if I don't feel well.
I can look at it in the morning. If it's serious, the doctor can hopefully fix it without removing a limb.
I appreciate it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go check in on a few people.
Walls form between you two, and Lizette, I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Oh god.
Natural 20.
That's the dice that landed on his delete key.
Yeah, that's natural 20, Senai. You feel the constant gnawing of this hunger, but you delay it one more time.
Oh god.
You know that fighting this part of your nature will start to exhaust you if you keep denying it from this point. But you're fine today.
Okay.
The night passes. You know, I was going to say the sun rises, but it really doesn't in Astoya.
It gets slightly less dark.
It gets slightly less dark. You all wake up.
James wanted to be in the background of Gavin's dreams if he had any. By the way.
Gavin, what
Can he? Considering inscrutable?
Let me relook at the text there, but I believe he can. I believe he has to, because it's not something they can really control. Let me go back to inscrutable.
Yeah, it happens at night. We can pick to hang out with each other, which we normally do, or we can pick someone around us.
Yeah, I'm just wondering because
Yeah, hold on one second.
the thing.
Inscrutable. It's odd. Usually, when you reach out to people, you see them as this blurred out thrum. But for him, when you try to walk over to his area, his world, the entire thing is blurred out. You can make no details of anything. It's this swirl of colors, and it's incredibly uncomfortable. You can push if you want to push.
I'd like to try.
Okay. Both of you roll me. Let's call it an intelligence saving throw.
18.
18.
All right, it's up to me then. Mason? Yeah, Mason's shirt's almost green. Ray's shirt's almost blue.
It's black, actually. But sure.
It is black.
Oh, God.
So, Ray, you shatter, or I'm sorry, James, you shatter through these walls. Mason, you feel someone breaking into your mind. And it's not until a familiar voice from some other place strengthens your resolve that you're able to repel this invader into your mind. James, you crack through and you see that there are not one within this area, but several. Gavin, you do not get the benefits of a long rest.
Oh, no. So
And I'm down a hit die already, too.
But James, there are several, and all but one of them form together and repel you. You will wake up after taking 11 points of psychic damage.
Ooh. Ouch. All right.
But that's going to be your night.
Ow.
You ow. I'm still at 11 HP.
Yeah, double digits is nice.
Edward sympathizes in Wizard.
I don't as much hit points as I do.
Everyone's level 1, no one's got hit points except for the barbarian. Let's just accept that and move forward.
Yeah.
Now, you all, as I was saying, before you all wake up, you stretch. Edward, you are covered in about 7 felines.
God, I start.
And that's what you all wake up to, is him thrashing with his bed covers.
I sleep an extra 2 hours. Have to. Okay. I sleep longer than everyone else.
I'm throwing my sleeping bag against the wall, kicking dirt, throwing the little knapsack that I rolled up to use as a pillow across down the tunnel, and just yelling profanities in several different languages.
Every morning, Doc, I swear to Ceres, you're going to get yourself killed one of these days.
Mikros, help me if I don't kill you first. They are after us. I've seen them, they are here, and they will slit all of our throats.
You feel 2 large hands on your shoulders from behind. And you hear Tilda say, "It's okay, I already fetched you breakfast. Thank you for helping there in the Pact." And sure enough, over the campfire, coffee has been made, eggs fried, bacon has been cooked. It is a bountiful breakfast, unlike every other day.
Where'd you find eggs? We haven't had eggs in 4 days.
There was a nest.
Where? We passed dead trees for the past, what was it, 3 hours on the way here?
I went out to enjoy the morning and get a nice stretch and bath, and I found a nest, and it was filled with 12 eggs.
I don't think I trust this at all. And I would like to insight check her to see if I'm looking specifically for any sort of facial expressions that I have not seen at all on her throughout the entirety of this trip. The way her posture is sitting, because you've known this rough and tumble guard,
Yeah.
and now she's
Sweet.
yes.
Go ahead and make your insight check.
Cool. Oof. That is a 9 on the die. So that would be a 15.
15. You're familiar with this behavior. She's making prolonged eye contact with Deirden.
Ah. I appreciate all of your hard work for breakfast.
You,
It is
you,
very
you
nice
believe
to
that
see.
it might be some sort of mating ritual.
If you don't mind, when you get down to the end of this ritual that you are going and prepping for, please just use the smuggler's cavern. And I believe the wall of vegetation will work as a
Feel
barrier.
those hands on your shoulder tighten up a little bit.
Did I say
Doesn't
so?
breakfast smell good there then? Yes, it's fine. Give me food. Hurry up. She gets real mad.
I'm going to hand her my jar of leeches.
She's still just holding onto your shoulders, just steadily getting tighter. She's getting more pissed.
Just use this. Just put it in his food. It might make him notice.
She like sort of pushes you forward and storms to the other front of the cave. The rest of you, breakfast smells phenomenal.
Actually, I wanted to do a thing with Gavin whenever he woke up.
Okay.
As he kind of sits up while still inside his tent, kind of looks around for a moment, has Fenris kind of sit outside of the tent to kind of keep watch. And then, Mr. Smiley, are you awake this morning? In Elvish.
Yes. No.
What was that last night?
Strange, wasn't it?
Like something.
A visitor. But we welcome visitors.
Do you know what that was? Who that was? I'm assuming that when he broke in, he was just as blurred as everything else was, right?
Yes.
All right. I haven't experienced that in a long time.
It was something new for us, and that is rare.
I think we need to be a little more careful. We've been very careful, but we've also been very lucky. Especially in that one circumstance with Silva when she saw us and coincidentally ran into a creature in the night. But
Yeah. Think the Barlow girl will be trouble. We should taste her brain.
I think it might be best to hold off on any violent action. As it is, especially if they figure out, or if they realize what we can do. I have a feeling that they'll turn in very quickly into a 5-on-3 battle. If we're lucky, and we're able to convince Narok to stay with us.
Yes, you haven't grown enough to accept the full gift, but you grow daily. Continue to feed us death. Continue to feed us destruction. And we will show you the glory that comes with the dawn.
Is there anything you want for breakfast specifically, Mr. Smiley?
A secret.
Secret.
Yes. Find one of their secrets.
I will see what I can do.
Yes. Yes.
But be careful. Try to keep your actions under the mask if you can. And I will
sort of pull back beyond your consciousness You also feel like you get a D4 to your next skill check.
All right.
Keep that in mind. Anyone else this morning?
Nodarok wakes up a little bit later than everyone else, even though he went to sleep before everyone else. But he wakes up, and after that dream, he just kind of sits back against the cave wall and just kind of quiet. In the dream, he felt weak for the first time since he can remember, since maybe being a child.
You wake up and you do this, and as you do this, just more out of habit than anything else, you sort of take inventory of your gears, you pack stuff up, you know, it's sort of a thing that most people who travel a lot do, is you make sure that everything's where it's supposed to be in your pack and everything. You're missing your silverware. From your mess kit.
Mm-hmm.
Gone.
Like the mess kit's still there, just
Mess
not
kit's
the
still
silver.
there, yes. But spoon, fork, and knife, gone. You never really used them anyway, I wouldn't think. But they're gone. Doesn't close right anymore, you know how it goes.
Yeah. Can I kind of look around at the ground to see if I see any tracks or anything that
Okay.
lead up to where I was?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a sight-based perception check.
Okay. That is a 24.
24. You are certain you don't see any tracks on the ground. And usually, I mean, it's hard to see tracks over stone,
Mhm.
but you are certain that they're just not there.
Maybe I lost them previously.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Smelling breakfast.
It smells very good.
Does it smell?
There's a large
Does
plate.
it smell
that-
off? Because bacon. Where would you get fresh bacon? Eggs.
The eggs smell like quail eggs. Which they put their nests in bushes and on the ground, so
Oh, yeah.
that
Yep.
makes sense to be able to find. But bacon, I mean, it smells like good bacon.
I didn't even question the bacon, I questioned the eggs.
And with your passive perception, you were certain that nobody was carrying bacon in their backpack yesterday.
I would have known a month ago.
You would have known because it's yours.
Someone want bacon. After I kind of take a moment to adjust to waking up and realizing I'm not in that dreamscape, I'll go and kind of investigate the breakfast situation. Unarmed, just leaving all my gear where it lies.
Okay. But
Gavin joins everyone, looking immaculate again, somehow. Only takes eggs, doesn't eat bacon, and then grabs 2 cups of coffee if he can, and he'll just step just outside of the cave with both of them and just kind of stand there, looking around, enjoying the morning darkness.
The land is nice and cool, and in the distance you can see that there's a fog, a mist. It's not heavy, it's just present.
Good morning, everyone. Everyone sleep well?
No.
Good.
Not especially, Mr. Barlow. It's a bit of a restless night for me.
Tilda pretended to be a woman. She made breakfast for everybody. And then you hear the sound of a rock crack.
I think she did a fine job. Thank you, Tilda.
It certainly smells good. Great job, Tilda. I'm sure you'll make a fine husband one day.
Where'd you get the meat?
She's just like sort of staring daggers at Darden for his 2 comments right there. And she says, I cooked it. What? What are you talking about? What?
I can see that you cooked. Where
Yes.
did you get it?
I bought it last town over. I've been saving it, and we found someplace good to sleep.
Okay.
Don't question things when things are good. There's bacon.
Narok will kind of like bend down to Gavin. She's lying.
You'd know about that, wouldn't you?
There's a difference between lying and not telling.
Draw your line where you will.
Well, more than bacon, I smell. I smell a little bit of something different in everybody, including you, Bergie.
Gentlemen, did you want to try and kill each other this morning? Would you rather wait until we find a better site? Otherwise, it may be best to put aside the tension here, as we only have each other here in one of the darkest, most dangerous countries in the entirety of Etharis.
I wasn't hired to kill anybody here.
Now he's talking sense, says Felix. I get it. I dig it. Let's split up this money and hit the road.
About that money, Mr. Felix, can you tell, I did hear the conversations last night, can you tell which tax season it was pulled from? From the ledgers.
I mean, I don't care. I don't know.
Gavin pulls out the paperwork and checks the dates.
Yeah, you check the date. It's from about 8 months ago.
This would have been about 8 months ago. Which means there's a good chance they're probably going to be taxed here very, very soon.
8 months ago, like as in, you know, right now it's right around September. It's the 9th month, and this is from like February.
Right. In terms of timeline, then would they most likely be experiencing their third cycle of taxing?
It's
Or at least close
hard
to it?
guess without knowing, but you can kind of figure if they were taxed twice because it says that this is the second tax of the year, and it's dated the 2nd month of the year.
Monthly taxes.
Yeah. So if they didn't get it, they've probably already been taxed again. This would be taxes for this year, Mr. Barlow. And more than likely, if I had to guess, the town has probably already been taxed a third time, and is already more than likely suffering.
Well, here's my thoughts. This money wouldn't be an issue if we didn't stumble into this cave looking for shelter. So in the eyes of the taxed and the taxee, this money is gone, lost to the wilderness.
I agree with Mr. Barlow. Obviously, somebody was hiding it, putting
What do you think, Doc?
beasts inside.
Well, the money is long gone as far as anybody's concerned in any sort of affiliation with it. The one poor fool that tried to kill the tax collector, he was, well, you experienced that firsthand last night. He became
He sort of
vegetable food.
groans and holds his stomach.
Yeah, don't stretch that, so you'll break the stitches. And then, on top of that, the most likely I've already gotten the other set of taxes, as Gavin has stated. So, bringing them the money back now wouldn't help them much, if anything. Most of their severe financial burdens would have already impacted them in one way or another. I know at least for most people, as soon as the tax season rolls through, the poor take whatever meager finances they have to put towards building up their food stores, helping with an illness specifically. Those usually take the largest portion of the finances. So with the third tax season gone through, or the third tax break gone through, it's most likely that whatever they needed it most for has already come and gone. Plus, I could use a new scalpel. Mine is getting rusty.
I think we're all in agreement then that this money is ours.
Personally, I would rather still see if it is something that they could use. Even if the tax season has come and gone, they are still presently left with less than what they would have had.
Well,
In which
I mean,
case,
look, you know, like, if you came to me and said, "Hey, mister, I got 100 gold with your name on it. Do you need it?" I'm going to say, yeah. Them people are going to do the same.
Well, not no. He could always donate his share if he wanted to help them.
Or we could spend money in town and we can turn their money by proxy.
Brother does have a point. They are getting their money back.
That's clever. Take a luck point.
Well, Gavin, if it does make you feel any better, I am always willing to offer my medical expertise to any volunteer. I think you know this better than anyone. If we happen to roll through, I'll offer it to more than one person. Maybe two. Maybe three, depending. But not four. I did that once.
You hear something rummaging around in your supplies.
I immediately go over and just smack my pack without looking, and then just look over to see if I see a raven.
You see a cat, and there are two cats, and a bunch of your glassware is starting to roll over the floor.
I swear I'm going to duck every single one of you and turn you into handbags.
They move 5 feet away.
And I start cleaning up all my stuff.
Narok grabs a couple of the glassware and hands it back to you.
Edward, did you have some samples that turned again?
It was the cats again! How do you not see them? They are everywhere. They get into everything. They're always
Edward, why would a cat go through your bag unless you had another sample that turned? This is what happened in the last town.
Look, my essence of liver is of none concern to you. It's fine. It'll still keep for another 5 days, I think. Maybe. Hold on, let me look.
Just make sure it's sealed better.
I pull out a very grimy glass to notice that it's empty. They got to it already. Or did I use this?
Let's run off.
Yeah, you better run, you little bastards. Anyway.
I would be inclined to go with Mr. Barlow's idea. But at least if we happen to come across the town, giving them gold back a little bit more in a roundabout manner, people would be a little bit more welcoming and probably more willing to believe us, or at least accept the gold back, if they think we're benefiting from it in some way.
Sounds like a plan to me. We could use some restocking. And I don't believe it's too much of a backtrack, is it? I believe we said it was a couple of days.
You don't know where Invermere is.
No one knows where it is, Doctor.
No, but there's an inn further down the road, I believe, was mentioned, that they may know some of the more local territories. And it may be along the way.
Yeah, Angus over at the Garancia, he knows everyone.
Well, then perhaps we should head there post haste.
After we get the money out of the chest.
Yes, we should not take the chest with us. Crimson Court can be difficult. And the best of terms to deal with, so we should leave the chest back in the cave. It looked like someone took it and ran. Because we did.
Very well, I'm not opposed to this.
What's this?
Do we have any spare bags to keep these separate?
Anybody have a spare bag?
Edward gets into his, he pulls around his shield that he's had this whole time that's been wrapped up in what looks like a patchwork cloak of some kind, and he opens up a flap and reaches in, and he is going to, you hear this subtle tearing sound as he's working something loose, and he pulls it off, and you see him start to pull out 4 little bags that seem to come out of this little area on the backside of his shield, and he hands them out.
Nerok, check your Zoom chat. I'm sending you something.
So for splitting it.
I'm sorry, it's 2 bags.
You start splitting out the gold. Has anyone done the math on that, or do you need me
I was
to?
trying to think of who we're all splitting it with. It's just Bearden. It's us and then Bearden, right? Because Felix and Tilda weren't there and didn't help us.
Oh, they absolutely are claiming a share.
We didn't do anything. Okay.
They guarded the entrance.
I was going to say, Felix says that his armored wagon has done quite a lot for you. And Tilda says that if everyone else is getting a share, she's getting a share.
Edward is going to remind them about his physician fees if they would like to pay him now or later. And Tilda is in the clear because she made him a delicious breakfast. And that's how Edward's mind works.
So that's 8.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Well, I see 4 bags and 8 people. Everybody can have a share,
I can put my share in
or
my own.
people carry.
I have room in my own coin pouch to put my share.
Yeah. The others are just going to put it with the rest of the coins.
Yeah.
Easy stuff. But yeah, 8.
Is it 8? Okay.
8 gold.
The 5 of
No,
you
8 people.
and the 3 of them.
So that comes to the equivalent of 13.125 gold per person is what we need to somehow split that into.
So that's 13 gold, 1 silver, and 2 copper. And there'll be a leftover of 4 copper.
Say we give the leftover 4 copper to the doctor to get a new scalpel. Though I don't think it's supposed to be rusted like that.
It still works. It cuts.
That doesn't.
I just have to saw a bit. It's fine.
Yeah.
Do you want the money or not?
Oh, absolutely. I will take the money.
How many silver again?
So-
1?
2. Or 4.12. So it was 4 gold, 1 silver, 2 copper. Wait, 4.12. It should be a lot more than that.
13.12.
13.12. Okay.
With 4 left over.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. I'm sorry.
So yeah, so that's 13 gold, 1 silver, 2 copper. Is what it essentially works out to.
Yep.
I mean, also we want to divide up this in, like, from the actual units of 70 gold, 210 silver, and 1400 copper.
But largest denominations works fine with me.
Like, I can figure that out. I can figure that out while we're going.
Which Edward is going to take another 5 minutes after they divvy everything out. He's going to take his boots off, and he's going to take that 1 sock off, and he's going to take a small pouch that's tucked into the fold of his belt, and he's hiding money in all different kinds of places. Which
Okay.
The rest of you have seen this several times already.
John, did James end up getting a long rest after his dreamscape, or no?
Yes, it's just you have that points of damage. Everything else recharges just fine.
I'm confused at that.
So you got your long
Everything
rest.
you get a long rest, and at the very end of your long rest, first thing in the morning, you take that damage. Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
So, is everybody ready? Are we good to, what's the phrase, hit the road?
Tilda smiles and bends down and punches the dirt.
See, I don't understand it still. Why would you hit a perfectly good road? It's meant for walking. I really don't get these things.
She helps Felix up into the armored cart, and you all start your traveling, I'm guessing?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Pack
One.
everything up.
Who's playing lookout?
James
All
is
right.
going to take a short rest.
Yep.
The doctor will keep an eye.
Okay, roll a perception check.
Narok's joining him.
And
Okay, roll a perception check twice. Well, at advantage.
even 17 on die, so 17 perception. 21.
Understood. James, you're able to get your short rest, recover some of those precious hit points.
I did.
You all fall into the familiar feeling of traveling, keeping an eye out for threats in every direction as you travel through these dilapidated looking woods in this hilly region of Astoya. The mist starts to clear as the day gets a bit warmer, and you can almost, like on a stormy day when you can tell the sun's behind the darkness, that's what the world looks like, that gloomy, dreary sort of feeling that a storm's coming at any minute, along with the latent green glow that the Soma area has within its skies. As you're going along down this road further and further, Edward, you see ahead of you something glinting, something made out of metal hanging from a tree. And as you get closer, you see that it is a cage, almost like a large bird cage.
Does it-
Nerok, you smell burnt hair.
Have your weapons ready. Something foul in the air. Something was burned.
Is the cage that's hanging, does it have anything in it that I can see?
Not from this distance. You have to get closer.
I'm going to do a little small whistle and call over the raven that seems to follow me everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm going to look at it and whisper, "You might go to check that out."
Does the caravan keep moving, or do you stop your caravan?
I'm going to slow the caravan.
Slow the caravan, and you send your familiar forward.
Mhm.
What is that bird's name? Or does it have a name?
I have always referred to it as Pip.
Pip. Okay. Pip flies forward and takes a few minutes, then flies back to you. And then you feel it sort of shudder and its feathers ruffle up.
Well, that's reassuring.
You get the feeling of safe.
I'm going to bring the caravan back up to speed, and I'm just going to sort of nudge everybody immediately around me to get, because, you know, while you're traveling, you start to get that, just the familiar gaze, and you don't actually see anything. I'm going to just sort of wake everybody back up and just try and get them back into the groove of keep that extra eye out.
As you get closer to this cage, is anyone else doing anything? This suspended metal cage hanging from a tree.
Since I've been in still, this is a Soma, but it's still the Empire of Astoya, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Does this look like something the Order of the Dawn would have done to creatures?
No, not
okay.
at all. The Order of the Dawn they kill undead and turn them to dust.
Yeah, I didn't know if they would prolong a death like this or something like that. Okay.
But as you get closer, you see that inside this cage there is the remains of a human being that has been burned. The cage is covered in the soot of fire, and nailed into the ground nearby is a sign with one word written in Astoyan:
What does it say?
witch.
That was my next question. Okay.
Edward is going to quietly think out a prayer to Nicholas before just sort of rubbing his chest right where a pendant hangs,
Mhm.
and then just we should keep moving.
Tilda spits on the ground in the direction of the cage and keeps going.
What's the sign say?
Witch.
Which? Lord. Why? Why burn someone like that?
Because she has magic that is unnatural. Use it against people in a certain way. Of that nature.
Powers used and abused are nothing more than that. But people here tend to judge very harshly. I think we should just keep moving.
We should. The doctors being nice, they judge harshly is too nice of a term for what they do. They tend to kill and burn on sight.
The problem with that is they tend to do it indiscriminately.
I don't understand the laws of the southern lands here.
Just wait till you go further south. You're lucky you're in Estrella. If you do magic in Castanella, they burn you on sight. These smells of officials. These smells of judge. These does not smell of Well, you know, lynch mobs, they don't usually carry cages. They're very heavy.
Usually in the way it should be done. If someone is accused of arcane magic or being something they're not, there's usually a trial involved, and this is how they end. Other cases, it simply takes someone accusing you and you burn.
Yes, it always ends in the same way. I believe most of us are well aware. Like I said, we should really keep moving.
Fire purges easily.
I never minded the magic folk. You know, they do funny things and they make little sparks appear. It's very nice. I want to see a gnome before he gets shot. And this gnome, every time he sneezes, he grows a beard made of blue feathers and goes flying everywhere. It was hilarious. And then he got shot.
Well, obviously, because it's dark magic, don't you know? It's terrible, terrible things. He's working the terrible dark Newman, is what they call it. So obviously, he had to be shot.
Newman? Who's Newman?
It's the word they use.
Isn't that name from Björk Newman? No, that's Norman. So weird. What happened to normal names like Deirden or Philippine or
Orchowski?
or Chomsky? You know, good normal names like Vanyi. No, they have strange names like Philip and Jamas. No offense, Jamas.
James'
While
son.
he's going on about all of the names and stuff, Narok has already walked over to the rope and is cutting down the cage. And
Okay.
he's going to take the bones out and lay them on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely it'll take you a few minutes to do it, but you're strong enough. You don't have to roll any checks to do that.
Gavin's gonna give him a hand.
Okay.
Yeah, the doctor will linger until they're done halting the caravan, but he's going nowhere near it.
Yeah, I'm not going near it either, but I want to keep an eye out for anything because I imagine they're traveling like on a road, as close to the road as we can get around.
Yeah,
here.
it's a
And
road.
then there's like woods on the side, and they have like a.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep out in the woods just in case something's still
Okay.
lingering in the woods.
You keep your eye out in the woods. There doesn't seem to be anything. No sort of life at all. There's no birds singing. The only birds you see are the eternal cloud of ravens that have been everywhere in Soma since you've gone there. It's almost like they're laughing at you right now, Edward.
He's just staring ahead at the body of the witch. In an odd moment, he's actually quieter than usual. Just staring.
You feel
As,
a cat rub up against your leg.
As Narok lays the bones down, he looks to Gavin and looks over at Edward. My sister, she uses magic to see ahead, forward, and it sounds like she would be called a witch.
Most definitely. I recommend her never coming to this part of the place.
If you think me turning into a bear was bad, imagine someone hurting my sister.
You can understand that desire to protect your sister. I have 3, unfortunately.
I hope you all don't fear me.
Wait, you have sisters? You have 3 sisters? Are they married? Are they hot?
I have been told people are.
You must introduce me someday. I must know your family.
I will keep that in mind the next time I encounter them. I've been out of contact with them for some time. But at last count, yes, the twins and my sister Lena were still single.
Twins! And you feel the glare of a blonde-headed woman at you.
I'm going to look over at Darradin and say, Darradin, I think it's time I check your stitches. Here, hold still. And I'm going to just press on where the stitches were. Yep,
Narok
so-
leans down to Gavin. He's not worried.
But
By the way,
Narok.
welcome Amy. She's watching us on YouTube. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Amy.
But Narok, people have a tendency to fear what they don't understand, fear what they can't control. Sometimes it is well-founded. Other times it is, as Mr. Barlow mentioned, overzealous.
As you lay the bones out, are you dedicating, are you entreating any of the seraphs or spirits? Like, are you doing like trying to lay them to rest, or are you just laying them out so they're...
So, I would be laying them down, and in the ground around the bones, I'd be writing out like protection runes of the clan. Not magical, not magical runes, but like the runes.
Yeah, no. Like you're right.
Yes.
It's in Maliki.
Yep.
Gotcha. Take a luck point. But after he finishes this, you all pack back up and leave. After he does, tries to provide what little piece can be this spirit, this individual that died a horrible death. The rest of your day, as you travel, as almost night turns into more night, nothing particularly sticks out. You do pass one group of travelers along your way, and they are a full caravan. 3 armored wagons with close to about 40 guards, all armed with heavy crossbows and metal armor. Sticks out quite a bit. But they actually, because it's not a very wide roadway you're on, but they pull to the side to allow you all to pass.
That's nice of them.
You know, they sort of nod as you pass by, keeping a close eye on you, but not being rude or threatening, just protective.
Edward is just going to pull his hat a little bit lower as they pass. Just trying to be as inconspicuous as possible.
Okay. As you're walking by, one of them goes, "Wait, Dr. Colai! Dr. Colai!"
Do I know you?
Do you? What's Edward's memory like?
Broken and shattered?
Nope.
Refresh my memory. Who are you again?
You guys, this is the doctor I was telling you about. He takes off his hat and he pulls out these long, flowing mane of hair. Now you remember you gave him a hair tonic once.
Do remember you, yes.
You never told him that if he cuts his hair, he's gonna die.
I see it's growing in quite well. So are you still shampooing it twice a day?
It hurts sometimes, but man, you know, I met my new wife because of you. Thank you so much, Dr. Colai.
Just remember, if it ever reaches your ankles, you will need to dress it up. But other than that, it should be fine. If you wait a whole year, it should change color, or at least that's what happened to the last person before he was disemboweled by something off in the woods. Then again, that might have been the blood. Don't worry about it. Should be fine.
You remember this was an unfortunate side effect when you were trying to work on a cure for headaches. And what it did instead was it caused the user to grow blood vessels inside their hair, which causes it to grow phenomenally. However, if they cut it, they will bleed to death.
That sucks.
But he puts his hair back up into his little hat. The other guys are like, "Oh, I can't believe it works. He was bald as a baby."
Yes, he was indeed that. And yes, all of my tonics work fantastically.
One of the guys, he throws a sack at you. You hear clink, clink, clink.
I open it up.
There is 8 Leora inside.
Are you paying me for a service?
It's a tip.
Fair enough. Well, it was good seeing an old patient again. Do take care. The hordes were especially thick on our travels here. There should be a cave that you might be able to find refuge in about... how long have we been traveling? About 3 hours, 4 hours now?
It's been closer to about... you had been traveling for about 3 hours when you found the witch. And it's been about 3 hours since then, so about 6 hours away.
Yeah, so there should be one about 2 hours away from here.
Yeah, they nod and thanks, and they watch you go. As it starts to get dark, and that innate sense of danger that comes whenever it gets dark, and Ustoya starts to rise within you all, the ground churning as it does when the sun goes down. You can see in the distance the lights of your destination, the Gear in Seer.
Oh, so we go to have an actual bed this evening.
I agree.
Here we go. That should be loading. Let me just grab your tokens. I didn't realize that you all were on the landing page this whole time, and I've been moving tokens back and forth on the map that you were in the cave, so that's my bad.
Oh.
So I'm just grabbing all the yuns. Let me move that. Grab this here.
Wondering for a while there, why aren't they moving their own tokens? They're just expecting me to do all this for them?
All right. Here we go. Masked copy. Got you in a nice little hero stack. The Gear and Seer. That should allow you all to see on this map, right?
There we go.
There it is.
Cool, I don't have to fix my names.
Let's see here. Yeah. Okay.
That means this is the front door.
Give me a second. I'm trying to turn the lights up for you all. Here we go. This should work. Boom. Oops.
Oh,
Ooh.
Maybe not.
Almighty, what is happening?
Suddenly a seraph descends.
Edward would like to run away as quick as he can.
Someone cast
There,
a fireball.
Well, it was going to be a good
Yeah, I
night's
got that.
sleep till it exploded.
Until the fire. But that should light everything up. Everything's in color now, right?
Grayscale.
Color and
Color and grayscale. Some of the dynamic lighting is in gray. From where the explosion of light was.
You think a fog board.
What that's in color is the light that comes from the outside.
if you went down the middle of this one.
So turn your thing.
Yep.
away.
That's what.
Oh yeah, that's because you can't see
Yeah.
inside the thing.
Okay.
So yeah, it's in color. It's just the walls are blocked out.
We
Yeah.
can't. We see the back. That's the door, I think. Oh,
It looks like the door is right here.
they had their hands on their head.
There we go. I figured out the problem, and I can fix it now.
And either way, it looks cool.
It looks great.
What spell effect did you choose for the light?
Supreme Nova.
It's dawn, which is pretty much Supreme Nova, if there was one.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ultimate angelic seal of protection.
All right, so that should work, right? Perfect. So you are brought before this this inn. There's a large wall around the outside of it. There are a few wagons, other wagons that have come to this two-story tavern building. Fires are burning. You hear the conversations of maybe a dozen or so people. It's not like it's a Kira concert in there or anything. Miley Cyrus hasn't shown up. It's a decently safe place to rest the night. You know, safe places to rest the night usually cost the gold. Roadside inns charge significantly more than normal in this part of the world because they can get away with it. Because supply and demand, either you're going to pay for it or you're not, and you're going to die.
Edward is going to start off as soon as the carts get pulled up. He's going to look over at Daredon, and he's going to say, "Well, why don't you try to find a place to latch our carts for the evening? We'll try and find a secure lodgings and maybe a hot meal. We could use it after a long day of travel."
Yes, we will do this thing. Come, Felix. Bring your gold. What do you mean, bring my gold? It's your armored wagon. You keep reminding us, so let's go. And they will take the wagon and go towards the stabling area.
I'm going to start heading down towards the front door. Now, John, is it this the front door, or is that a window?
There are no windows. There are doors, aplenty.
Lots of doors.
There are many doors to this. 1, 2, 3, 4. The front door area looks like it's down here.
Okay.
Looks like the main entrance. Let me zoom out a little bit so I get a better view. There we go. Yeah. But there is a well. On the well is a large jeweled goblet.
Interesting.
Like on it.
Yes. There is a large jeweled goblet. It is made out of gold. It is covered in sapphires. It looks very expensive. It is just sat on the well. If you look at it, in Estoyan, it says, "May those who thirst drink freely."
Can I make a history or check or something? See if there's some sort of culture thing with this.
Yeah,
It
you
seems
can
weird
make
that there's
Man, you're not from here.
with disadvantage. You said.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's use you and let's use you. That's not bad. I'm actually good at history. Unnatural 20.
A natural 20. You've seen this in the other towns that you've skirted by on this trip. Every well in this area of Soma has a similar goblet that says the same thing. And you've seen everybody uses it. They pick it up, they fill it with water from the well, they drink from it, they put it back.
Easily identifiable communal cup.
Something like that.
All right. I inform the others. Yes, it's a.
Whenever you've brought it up between the very few people that you've been allowed to talk to, usually Felix does the business deals. He don't want you to fuck it up. But all they say it's from the Duchess.
Oh, frick. Yes. We can use that cup to drink, but keep it there. No one take it. It's a very bad idea to try and take that cup.
How many wells have we passed?
There's usually one in every town, so I'd say about 3.
And they just leave this out in the open.
Yes.
I'm gonna stare at Pip and just sort of think at him, don't you dare.
I mean, you do got to think about this from their perspective. If you do steal it, who are you going to sell it to?
Anyone outside of this area?
But if they got the same thing set up in every town, that's the exact same goblet with the exact same writing, people are going to call that out real quick.
Oh, I mean like outside of Astoria.
Oh.
I
We
mean,
can make it.
I don't live here.
All right. Well, Gavin's going to head inside.
Okay. Go ahead and move your token. As you move inside, you can smell there is a thick soup being cooked for dinner. You can see a couple people sitting at this table eating. They look in your direction. There seems to be 4 people over here haggling over the details of some sort of deal. There's a few people at the bar up yonder. Behind the bar, you see a stout dwarven man, and you see a tall, thin woman with fiery red hair that sort of sticks up. There's your dwarf. There's your the woman. She does have pointed ears, though you've never seen an elf with hair that color. And they say the man, he sort of jumps up on the counter and he says, "Hey, welcome to the Gear and Sear. I've not seen you around here before. This is my place. My name's Angus."
Pleasure to make your acquaintance, Angus. We are travelers.
Got money.
Oh, of course, sir.
Fantastic. We've had a couple freeloaders come through in the past few days, and my dear city had to deal with them.
Such
That
terrible
city.
manners.
Look at the woman.
Well, we are looking for lodging. Do you have any rooms available?
We do have rooms available. We've got 3 rooms available. And you won't find better prices between here and any of the nearby cities. Ha 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 ha! And he slaps his knee, and the woman looks irritated.
I courtesy laugh.
Like she's heard that joke way too many times.
I work in retail. I know the feeling.
Working hard or hardly working, am I right?
Oh God. Joe.
Get out. Get out.
At least 5 times a night. Right. Oh.
Living the dream. But he says, so to store up your beasts in the farm there, that'll be 1 gold, 5 silver each. So 1 gold. And if you're looking for the rooms, they run 12 gold a night.
Per room?
Per room, yeah.
Mr. Angus.
There's 4 beds in there. So if you like each other a whole bunch, you only need 1 room.
Mr. Angus, was it?
That's me.
Have you need of any medical services? I am a physician, and I can offer them in exchange for a discount on said rooms.
Son, I eat 5 steaks a day. I'm healthy as a horse. Or maybe a bear. A bear! Oh my word, does he belong to you? And you see him sort of lean and look out the door towards Narok. You go, speaking of bear, is he gonna be performing? He should perform.
No, he's the hired muscle.
You sure hired a lot of that, didn't you?
He's very good at his job.
Narok.
You should perform tonight. I think that'd do you good. When you're ready to order. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What'd you say, Narok?
Narok's staring at the goblet. Like, just kind of like pondering things.
How fast can I run?
Okay.
I don't think he'll be performing, but that is certainly something within my ability to do, if you are looking for entertainment. Oh,
Having some tech issues over there, everybody.
gotcha.
Back in?
Yeah, it says it's back in.
Okay.
It was a little laggy at first, but it just kicked me out completely.
Here we go. We got audio back.
Yep. We got audio and video back.
The work is reset.
Okay, let me.
Let me turn it on. 1 second, guys. And to our viewers, I'm sorry.
Do we just want to go ahead and take our break here?
This would be a good opportunity. All right. So we're going to take a 10, 20-minute break? 10 minute?
10-minute break. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll be back in 10.
Welcome back, Dark Watchers and player characters. I appreciate your patience and understanding whenever we had to make our sacrifices to the great tech gods of old. But jumping right back in, our group has made it towards the Gear and Seer Imperium and met Angus.
All right. So they have, it sounds like, turning back to everyone else, it sounds like they have 3 rooms available, 12 gold a night.
I'll work on getting us some extra funds from, I'm sure, 1 or 2 of these patrons. I will catch up with you. Here is my share for a room, and I'm going to hand off 5 gold and then look in the direction of the stables as if he's still waiting for his payment from the 2 mercenaries.
So he gives you 5 lira.
Who do you hand that to?
I'm going to hand it to you.
Okay.
Since you're the one person I know most.
And there's 12 gold per night?
Yep.
Okay.
12 per night per room.
Lizzie, you want to split that?
Sure.
Alright.
Keep in mind, there are 3 rooms and 8 of us altogether.
He did say there were 4 beds to a room.
We could, in theory, get 2 rooms, or if we want to get all 3 and allow the ladies their privacy.
Are you all going to stand in the doorway like you are? Are you going to start making your way to a table?
So Edward and Gavin move, I will walk through the door. And then there's a good there.
Get out of the way so they can get it.
I'm not going to shoulder check the barbarian out of the way. If that's what you're wondering.
He's making his way to the bar.
The dwarf, he looks at you and he goes, now there's something special about you. Let me ask you something there, son.
Okay.
Are you an adventurer?
Is he saying that to me?
Yes.
Oh. Yes.
And he claps his hands together and he looks towards the woman he identified as his wife. So he says, I told you they were adventurers. They weren't no regular guards. Goes, yes, you were right. Well, adventurer, welcome. Welcome to the Gear and Seer. My name's Sooty. Is this your first time here? I don't recognize you. I think it is. And he looks, he goes, you know what? Big guy, you're a drinker, right? You ain't no elven pansy boy, right? And he walks up and he stands up on the bar and he goes, your first round's on me. Let me tell you, I used to be an adventurer like you. And he puts a hand on your shoulder, and when he does, his arm pops off. Well, that'd be why. And you see that he has a metal arm. It's the same tone as his skin. It's hidden with a very nice glamour, but magic. But it is a metal arm. And he sort of grabs it with him, he pops it back on, and you hear like, let's go sit. I'm a retired fighter. Back in my day, when I action surged, I could pop off 4 attacks in a round. And he takes you somewhere to go sit, if you'll go with him.
Yeah, I will.
He will sit right here and very loudly start telling you stories about when he was an adventurer. And Sooty was an adventurer with him. That's how they met. What are the rest of you all doing? He said the first round's on him, but he'll feed you 5 drinks over the course of the next hour if you allow it.
How much are the drinks?
He's paying.
Oh. Then I am listening to anything and everything he's got to say.
Okay. He's gonna ask you where you're from. He'll say you look like you're from the north. And he'll try to get to know you in a friendly manner. He's very excited. I mean, by the look of it, it's a strong guy. Like, you don't have any problem believing that this guy used to be, mid-tier adventurer. Like, he's a tough dwarf.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll tell him about my. I'll give him the cliff notes of my travel down from the north.
Okay.
Explain
right.
to him like traveling through the cold fire.
Yeah, he'll tell you that he never wanted to screw with that. That's why he never went to the north. He's scared of cold fire. It sounds terrible. And then he laughs and he looks at his wife and he says, I like him hot.
I'd like to make a perception check to see if she rolls her eyes to the back of her head.
Yeah, she does.
Everyone's passive perception sees that.
Yep. Barlow's, what are you up to?
Well, I'm sitting with Gavin and James at the table. I wanted to scope out the room to find someone that looks a little weak-willed, so probably someone that looks strong, because brutes are usually weak-willed because they're strong, not really wise and whatnot, and intelligent.
Let's see here with 14. Over next to the door in this area, you see that this man, this slightly balding human, you listen into their conversation. They are discussing the marriage between the young woman across the table and the young man next to him. And he isn't very assertive, whereas this white-bearded man on the bottom is incredibly assertive about the terms of this. He seems pretty weak-willed.
Okay.
Looking further around the room, you can clearly see this tavern is built for a lot more people than there is in here.
Okay.
Angus and Narok are talking, and Angus is having a good old time. Narok seems entertained. Not as much fun as Angus is having. He seems like it's his birthday, right? Like he's having more fun than he's ever had. These two at the corner of the bar, they're sort of leaning in and whispering to each other, and they're sort of looking and pointing in the direction of the Goliath. This lady here in the corner, she seems a little sad, but she's drinking. This one here, he's sort of looking around, and he keeps looking over his back as he takes a sip, and every so often he reaches into his shirt and fiddles with what you imagine is an amulet of some kind, and he puts it back. And every so often, all of you from the bottom left area down this way, you hear the sound of cheering and clapping.
Narok will interrupt Angus. What's going on down there?
Oh, that's our big moneymaker. Well, one of our big moneymakers besides my wife, Stu. That's the fight pits. I thought that's what you come here for.
Interesting.
Hearing fight pits, Edward is going to start making his way down there, because where there's fighting in arenas, there's injuries. And where there are injuries, there's money to be made.
It's the bottom left of the building.
As he's walking by, Gavin's just going to say as Edward walks by, get consent first this time.
Right. They like that first. Okay.
Can you sit down here?
Yeah. I'm going to make my way just into here.
Okay. I will get back to you then.
Yeah.
Gavin, as you're sitting, your vision keeps getting drawn to this fellow in the corner, right there. With he's got the braided hair, he's got glasses, kind of dark skin, and one of his eyes behind the glasses you can see is jet black. And you feel your friend, what'd you call him, Mr. Smiley? He says, ooh, Ooh, look, he's like us. Well, not really. He's not one of mine, but he belongs to the one that sleeps. Oh, we should go be friends with him. Yes, I want his secret. Go get it.
If you'll excuse me, Mr. Barlow, I see someone who I believe may be a former acquaintance of mine. I do apologize for abandoning you and leaving you alone here.
It's fine. If you're a friend, you found a friend.
Does new friend in the corner, does he have a drink already in front of him?
He does. He has a drink. He has a large book that seems to be bound in this seaweed. And he's just thumbing through the book. And as you get up, his eyes look in your direction. And then he looks back at his book.
I'm gonna go get 2 drinks from the bar. From
You feel that presence sort of pull you by your chest, and you very awkwardly get your first step almost falling over as it unbalances you. He's very excited.
Sorry, didn't sleep very well, and I think I'm just feeling it after walking all those days, all the blood rushing back into my legs. Yes. Just need to calm down and just take it one step at a time. Go get some drinks at the bar.
So you go up and Sooty will get you those. Going down Edward. And Narok, you see Edward head into the area that's been described as these fire pits. What you see in here is you see these 2 individuals. This fellow here is leaning up against the wall, broken, bloody nose. Looks like he's taking a beating. And over here, standing in the middle of the arena, is this fellow with his very manly mustache, one hand raised up in the air in victory, and the 4 gentlemen down there just golf clapping.
I'm going to walk up with hip on my shoulder.
This fellow here looks at you as you walk up and says, "Oh, a new contender!"
Absolutely not, no. I am a physician, and I heard there was a glorious fight pit here. I'm willing to offer my services, free of charge for all victors, for it's good for business.
This guy was walking up to you, and then you said victors, and he turned around.
Half
And he
price
sat
for
down.
any competitiveness.
He sits down dejectedly. James Barlow, you're walking back into here?
No, just moving there so the viewers can see.
I got it. All right, I'm sorry. Oh, did I not make the all-seeing eye? No. Okay. Well, I'll just put a second James Barlow. How's that? There we go.
Oh my god, there's 2 of them.
You should be able to see from both now, correct?
Yep.
Perfect. All right, I will make the all-seeing eye this next week. I apologize, but Edward Coli. What do? You say this and you just sort of sit down and wait, or?
I'm going to walk up to the gentleman that looks battered and bruised, with Pip on my shoulder. I'm going to introduce myself to him. Hello, my name is Edward Kalai. I'm a physician, and you seem to be in desperate need of one. Tell me, did you lose all your coin in this fight?
Look, fella, Dale. This is my name. I ain't my first broken nose. I'll be all right. That fella down there, he's and he leans in real close to you and he whispers, "He's a cheater. You fight dirty."
Isn't that the point of these fight pits? Is just to win? I am just a scholar, so it's
No honor among fighters no more. It's a sad state of affairs. He says very loudly, and the other few people in here, they sort of turn and look at him before going. And this guy, he's being boisterous. He says, "This is my pit. Is there no one man enough to try and take me out of it?" "I didn't think so."
I heard that. while I
"I'm
was
gonna
next to
go."
Angus, yeah.
Yeah, you hear most everything usually.
Yeah.
Almost
I say to,
loud
I say to
enough.
Angus, I'm just like, you interested in making some money?
You know, friend, I have a feeling when they look at you, the only way I'm gonna make some money is if you throw a fight.
Not my nature.
I didn't think so. I'll watch you. I'll watch you go screw up that fella. He's a little bit too loud for me. You know, I used to be good, but a man needs to be humble. If you ain't humble, I was the most humble that there ever was.
But as this guy is boasting about, I'm going to say, I have a friend that might want to challenge you for that title, if you're interested. And I'm going to call out for Narok from the back room.
You hear the doctor desperately pleading with you.
Narok, I could use some assistance.
I'm here.
This is him.
He turns his face quickly, and then his eyes slowly trace up and up and up. The champ swallows hard. He says, "All right." "But since you're new here," he walks up to you, "I'm sure nobody's explained the rules to you." Angus says, "You two boys play nice." He goes plop down over here. He looks at this long-haired fellow in the corner. He says, "Did I ever tell you why we call this place the Gear and Sear?" But the champ, he continues to walk up to you and he says, "So, new fella, I've been coming here for weeks, every night, taking every challenger there is. Buy-in for the fight is 50 lira. Yeah, 50. Unless your pockets are too light for a real man's bet."
I look to Edward because I don't know what this currency name is. I just know what I've been paid.
He's asking for 50 of the golden ones.
He'll hold my money. And I'll toss Edward my coin pouch.
Well, he takes and you see him put his coin pouch on the bar over here. And he tells you it goes down right there. Whoever can walk over to grab it at the end gets it.
Edward is going to walk over and he's going to put the coin pouch hovering over the bar and look back at Narok and says, "So, is it a scheduled fight then?"
Do you have 50 gold?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You sound so shy about that.
Well, I mean, he's a barbarian. It's not like he has to buy much.
I don't. So, in our travels, everyone probably would, buy things that they need, and if you recall, you've never really seen Narok spend much. he gets paid and he puts stuff away. Narok has like 145 gold.
Wow. Very nice.
Yeah.
The guy, before he walks in, he looks at you. He goes, "Fists or weapons?"
Whatever edge you think you need.
Fists. Oh, I made him go through a wall. Wrong key. Fists, and then he proceeds to run away. No.
Through the wall.
Yeah, right.
So he goes down the stairs into the fighting pit, and Narok will hop over the ledge down into the fighting pit.
Okay. All right, so he gets down and he starts stretching. And he goes, "I don't know if you're ready for all this, but I hope you're ready for all this. Yep, trains are coming. I wouldn't want to be you if I was you. I'd want to be me. Mm-hmm. Are you proficient in insight?"
Insight. I'm not proficient now.
Understood. This guy's talking a bunch of crap.
I mean, I've heard a lot of people say a lot of things. It doesn't really faze me.
Where is it? There we go. All right. So. Boom, there we go. I was just trying to find the proper stat block, but I got it now. That was a strange noise. So, he sits there, he gets down stretching. And, you know, if you were smart, you'd just go ahead and quit right now. There's a mage hand behind me. Why is there a mage hand?
It's subtle spelled and it's invisible.
Ah, okay.
And he has it ready to essentially just grab onto the heel of his boot whenever the fight starts, as he's going to probably attempt to charge Narok or brace against a Narok charging at him, and then I'm going to tip him off balance. Is the point?
Okay. Understood. So you're watching, you're subtly trying to cheat.
I highly doubt any of these guys know much about magic, so.
Oh, them? No way. While this is going on, what are the rest of you all doing before we hop into the battle of the century? Barlows, are you sitting at the table enjoying each other's company?
I had a question. How big does this inn look? Because if there's 3 rooms available to us, does it look like there's more than the 3 rooms available to us?
You haven't been upstairs? Hard to tell.
Okay. I just wanted to gauge if I could guess how big this place was, if the only rooms available were the rooms we were renting, or if there were more people staying the night besides us.
Uh-huh.
Because in order for me to feed people, I have to be asleep. So, and I can
There's
do
a
it.
lot of people in this inn.
Yeah, but none of them are asleep.
Well, no, not currently.
Yeah. So I was just wondering how many of them had rooms, possibly based off of how many rooms.
There seems to be a good amount. There are more rooms than there are people.
Okay, cool. That's all I was wondering. Okay.
Now, as far as available rooms, hard to tell.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Well, I was wondering if there looked like there was more than just the rooms we were renting.
All right, let's hop back over to our resident noble.
Before we do that, James is actually.
So after getting the drinks, go over, take a seat at the table, set one down next to the resident black-eyed reader, and interesting book you have there.
Yes.
Bit of a
Are-
connoisseur myself, and it's not common to meet people who are interested in the finer things of life, such as novels, stories, historical readings, etc. Might I ask what it's about?
He finally turns to you and he adjusts his spectacles and he looks up at you and he goes, he leans in. Have you heard the call as well?
Perchance we have something to discuss. May I have a seat?
Of course! And he closes the book and I guess he puts it away. It's gone. And he pulls out a chair for you and you take a seat. He sort of picks up the glass and looks at it and then raises it towards you. Very slowly starts moving
I
it to his
very
lips.
plainly drink.
He takes a drink.
Don't worry, the neurotoxin will take effect in a few minutes.
Victor.
Gavin. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
And you.
Is he's avoiding eye contact?
No, he's looking right at you now. It's like whenever you first appeared, he was kind of blowing you off, didn't want anything to do with you, until he looked at you and asked you that question and offered you to sit. Now he's very interested in what you have to say.
Might I ask, Victor, what brings you to these parts?
Well, I imagine it would be the same thing that's brought you. I've heard the call. And you haven't sung to you yet.
I believe I'm still in warm-ups, so to speak.
You know, it's strange. Yes, it's very strange that.
What might
You
that
aren't
be?
touched by the sea.
I didn't hear that part. I'm sorry. What?
He said, you aren't touched by the sea.
By the Steve?
Sea, S-E-A.
S-E-A. Okay, C.
But you haven't heard the call. So then, what brings you here to the Gearing Seer, I wonder?
Bit of personal interests. Common, everyday things. There's something about you, Mr. Victor, that just seems to echo to me.
Well, we warlocks can smell our own. And he when he says this.
Good to note.
I will not interfere with your plans if you do not interfere with mine.
Perhaps a bit of sharing is in order to ensure that we don't interfere with one another. After all, I would hate to commit a sin of ignorance against you.
Well, my business isn't here in the Gearing Seer. No, I'm supposed to go to a city near here.
By what name, out of curiosity?
My contractor has yet to inform me of such. Just that east of here, there's a city that I'm traveling to. But I'm supposed to sit here for 5 more days. You know how contractors can be so oddly specific.
Or cryptic, or eccentric. Yes. Quite aware. Well,
Are you traveling eastward?
at the moment we are traveling northward.
You're traveling northeast.
We are traveling more northeasterly for now. The possibility of what would be the right kind of phrase? A diversion along the way. But otherwise,
Do not fear if you hear the song. You wouldn't be the first signee to head in that direction while I've waited. In fact, just yesterday, a caravan with no less than 6 signees headed in that direction. They come, they hear the song, and they go.
do I know of any city that's in an easterly direction from here? A major city or a rumored city?
They're not from here.
Yeah. Hoping like picking up from like rumors or just general stories or like, hey, don't go that direction.
You could ask.
Have you asked at all if there was a city eastward of here, or any cities eastward of here?
Well, we're not at the coast. There's quite a few cities east of here. And his eyes sort of glint at that comment. He says, as far as major cities, I know that there's Belost and there's Triel. But each of those are a few days' travel. The owners might be a little more knowledgeable about the roads. Speaking of the roads, and this should go without saying, but you and your servants would do well to avoid the roads at night. The locals speak of, and you might not put much mind to the word of peasants, but the locals speak of monsters they call face biters. You can guess what they do.
Yes, that's a fairly straightforward, very peasant sort of name.
But they only come out at night.
Well, it has been a pleasure to speak with you, Victor. Perhaps before too long we might be able to collaborate again before I have to leave.
He smiles and he tips the cup at you and he says, I will have to return this drink to you.
Perhaps on the morrow.
Perhaps.
Well, sleep well. Have sweet dreams.
Not with one of those dream thieves lurking around, let alone 2. But best of luck.
Out of curiosity, because I don't know if this actually got mentioned, I can't remember if this got mentioned during episode 1. Do we know the Barlow's race?
You know that they look different. You know that they, at least, Lizette Barlow is a human. James Barlow, he keeps his head in a cloak most of the time. He has a different skin tone than his sister. But he seems off-human.
Gotcha. All right. But in character, Gavin will look to Victor and say, "Dream stealers, dream thieves."
Large brim hat. I'm sorry. I apologize.
All caps.
But
There is a difference, sir.
There's quite a difference between a brim hat and an edgelord hood. I know.
Wesley.
Yeah, he just sort of nods in the direction of your two traveling companions.
Noted. Well, in that case, do try to get some rest. Perhaps another drink will assist you in that.
Adieu. And the
Gonna.
book is back on the table as he bids you farewell.
While we were having a conversation, I would like Fenris to have snuck under the table.
Hmm?
And as I turn and as I walk away, I want to have Fenris kind of climb up the wall behind Victor
Uh-huh.
and try and get a look at the book that he's reading.
Okay. It's not in Draconic. He can't read it.
Okay. Oh, it is in Draconic?
It is not in
It's
Draconic.
not in Draconic. All right. As I kind of walk away, I kind of want to stop, like lean down, like I'm trying to tie my shoe, and I want to borrow his eyes for a second to see if I can read it.
Okay. What languages do you speak?
Elvish, Hybierok, Imperial Norm, and Estoyan.
Nope.
All right.
It looks like a nightmare on a piece of paper would look. It
Okay.
has strange spirals and symbols that you've never seen before.
Does Mr. Smiley recognize it? Because Mr. Smiley uses my senses. I don't know how that translates to using the familiar stuff, if he can then also see through my familiar.
Yes, he can. Because your senses are there, and he's connected to you. Mr. Smiley does speak this language. And he goes, "Ooh, you really need to get his secrets. Oh, that's so good."
May perchance know someone who might be able to do that.
It's so long since I've been able to speak the home tongue with somebody.
Do you want me to stay down here tying my shoe longer so you can keep looking, or?
I can't talk to him that way if you're staring at your footwear.
All right,
And then
and
he starts to
I.
make the most terrible sounds in your head.
All right, I understand. I think I need to speak to the
Poetry. I
Barlows.
love it.
I walk back and I'll bamf Fenris back in under my shirt and have him like kind of crawl out back onto my shoulder.
Okay. Camera cutting on over to the action. You see, as you've walked in, that these two fellows have gone in and they're making wagers, leaving the two prospective lovebirds to talk to each other. Yeah. Ooh. That's real bad. That's real fucking bad. Roll a d4 there, Narok.
D4. Got it. I can pick the thing up. There we go. That is a 3.
There are 3-to-1 odds against you. this fellow, the one in charge, who looks like Malcolm McDonald, he stands up and he says, "All right, are there any more bets before we begin?"
Anyone betting on me?
Versus 10 gold. Free healthcare.
He looks at you and he goes, "I think you're the ugliest doxy I've ever seen. We'll take gold."
I'm gonna flip the scalpel in my hand to show how steady it is. I may be ugly, but I know my job.
Those service. Oh, thank the seraphs.
Please, I do better than you.
But you're
Am
so
I able to
old.
wager on myself?
I'm 20.
I mean, you can if you want to.
I would wager on myself to win.
Okay.
So it's 50 gold to buy into the fight, right? And then,
Yep.
and I'd wager another 50 gold
Okay.
for me to win.
All right. Understood. So you putting gold down or not?
I am not.
You broke.
No, I'm not broke.
Okay. All right. So bets are in. Narok, roll initiative.
All right. 22.
Oof. All right, you're going first.
All right.
As your sense of time dilates, as the adrenaline starts pumping before combat, this guy drops into a ready stance, and when he does, his feet spread just a little too wide and yank, and you see him sort of stumble forward.
Good. Good. Well, as a bonus action, I'm going to rage,
Okay.
and then I'm going to move forward and full on just crack him right in the face.
All right, go ahead and roll a hit. At advantage.
At advantage, that's
Yes,
a
sir.
natural 20.
You run up and you manage to sucker punch him right under the jaw. Give me the damage.
So it's just flat damage of 9, but with a critical, would that double?
So unarmed strikes are usually, unless you have a special attack, which I don't believe you do, or the Tavern Brawler feat, it is 1 plus your strength modifier plus your rage damage. So that'll be 6, 7, 8, 9. And
Yep.
so on a crit, you would do 1 more, which is 10.
Okay, so then I would do 10 damage.
Crash! You crack this guy in the face and do 10 points of damage.
That is it for me.
When you connect with this guy's jaw, he doesn't even flinch. You hit him as hard as you can and you connect hard. He doesn't seem too bothered by it. He's been punched in the face a lot. If that's your turn, for his turn, he's going to... Ooh, that's an ugly picture. Yep. As a bonus action, he's going to drop into a pugilist form. So the right foot goes out. The two dukes go up like this. And with his action, he's going to whap whap. 17. What is he at? 5. So 17 and 5 is a 22. So the first one goes wide. And as it does, you see that almost on purpose, like he was testing you. And he will dance around to the side this way. And as he does, he's going to come down, duck down, and he's going to go with a 22 to hit you.
Yep.
Just barely hits. And as he does, he's going to do, because he does have Tavern Roller, 5 points of bludgeoning damage. Cut in half to 2, cut in half to 1. But that will be his turn. And it goes back to you.
Okay. I am going to swing around and throw a punch at him. Am I able to throw 2 punches if I'm not moving?
Yes, you can. You can unarmed. It's like 2 weapon fighting. So with your bonus action, you can attack with your offhand.
Okay.
Unless you have the 2 weapon fighting style, you don't get to add your modifier to it.
I do
That'll
have
do.
the 2 weapon fighting style.
So then, yeah, you can bat.
Okay. They're both the same number. So that is a 24 and a 24 to hit.
Both will connect.
Okay. They both do 9 points of damage.
All right. So, yes.
I know I'm not in the initiative thing.
Would you like to be?
I would like to be, because I would like to move my hand around to essentially get the help action.
So this first round goes so fast, you're not able to join in. But go ahead and roll into initiative now. Let me know if you get higher than 9.
I got 9 on die plus things.
Yep. So that's higher.
Not as high as Nara.
Yep, so we'll throw you here and say 9 plus things.
I think it's 3, right? 3, 4.
There we go.
Yeah, 13.
I got you right what you said.
Oh, good, perfect. 9 plus things. Love it. Yeah, it's just going to move right over here. And
You can act next round.
yeah.
Like I said, this first round, too fast.
Gotcha.
You're a little distracted. That guy called you old. The heck?
20.
You're trying to gauge Malcolm McDonald here to see how his constitution's looking.
Pull out my steel mirror and look at myself like, I don't have white hair. Do I?
You taking a good look at your token here lately?
Yeah, I know, but
Yes, on an off note, our official token art should be in for next week as well.
Awesome.
And if not, it will be in for everybody but Narok. But so back to the fight. Back to the fight. You turn around, and as you do, you just do a double-handed punch forward with both hands, hitting this guy square in the chest. And his foot goes back, and as he does, he's going to move to this point where his back is to the crowd, and when he does, he's going to throw a fake. And as he throws a fake with a bonus action, he's going to go ahead and he throws some sand in your eyes. So I need you, because you saw it coming, because you're a barbarian. Or no, you don't have that yet. You don't have danger sense yet.
Oh, no, I don't. Not yet.
I need you to roll a dexterity saving throw. Actually, no, it's not a dexterity saving throw. It is an insight check versus his deception check. Oof.
15.
15. The sand gets into your eyes and you have disadvantage on attacks next round,
Okay.
as you are momentarily blinded until the end of your next turn. But he fakes at you, and nothing seems off to you guys. But then he's going to go ahead and he's going to take his 2 swings. Now at advantage for his opponent not being able to see. That is a 21. And that is a 21. Or no, a 20. So 21 and 20, neither of those connect, I believe.
Nope.
Your turn.
Alright. I'll turn. Did he move again?
You did. You don't know, though. You're blind.
Okay. Alright.
Here, let me help. I will make it more immersive for you right now. Ready? That's how your life is. I turned his vision off.
It's a terrible thing, I know. I've seen it happen.
So I go to make 2 swings and I miss.
What'd you get to hit?
So I got a 13
Uh-huh.
and a 9.
Those will definitely miss. Tell me, what square are you targeting?
The last I saw him, he was here before he threw pocket sand.
Yep. Okay, at the end of your turn, you wipe your eyes, and you see this guy is completely up. Let me turn your eyes back on. There we go. Can you see again?
Yep.
You see that he's completely backed up, and he's got his arms crossed. Edward.
My hand is going to move right over here, and using my telekinesis feat, I would like to use my action to instead manipulate the hand. I'd like to untie his shoes.
Okay. Call it sleight of hand.
Edward is trained in sleight of hand.
But you're going to use intelligence instead of dexterity
Okay.
because you're using your mage hand.
Understood. Maybe not too great. Let's see. Sleight of hand, 2, 3, 4, 6. For a solid 11.
11. You go to do that and you're like, oh, this is such a good idea. And then you look down and you see he's not even wearing shoes.
I pluck one of the hairs coming off of one of his feet.
You do that gracefully. Back to his turn. He's going to go right back up to Narok, charging and jumping up. And when he does, he's going to bonus action, pocket sand. Actually, no, let's describe that better. He's going to run up, and when he does, he's going to, yeah, you know what? Where you're standing, pocket sand is the best way I can do this. So make that insight check versus his perception.
All right. Okay.
Or not perception, his deception. Sorry.
That is 20.
Ooh. So, he has a 21. That means you're 1 short.
Mm-hmm.
You can succeed with a penalty if you choose.
Yeah.
You would like to succeed with a penalty?
Yeah.
Roll a d10.
Okay. Eight.
8. Okay, roll a d10 again.
1.
1. That's the best roll you could have had. So, you see it coming this time, and you manage to throw your hand up, but when you do, your little finger gets caught on your coin pouch, and you lose 1 gold piece. But you manage to deflect the pocket sand.
Okay.
Your penalty is you lose a gold piece.
Okay.
Well, your penalty is you lose 1d10 gold pieces. You just happen to roll a line.
Yeah.
And then he's going to make his 2 attacks at you. Now, straight rolls because you're adequately defended. That's a 10 and 10 and a natural 1. Ooh. So for his penalty, ooh, no. There is no confirm. There's just penalties. But for his penalty, he's going to be Bane next round. Ooh. So as he, where's my Bane button? There it is. So as he runs up to you, he throws the pocket sand, and when he does, he immediately leaps into the 2 attacks as fast as he can, without realizing that you've deflected his dirty trick. And when you do, you grab him by the wrist from the first punch, missing you. And as he follows through with the second one, you sort of jerk him down, and when he does, he slams his fist into the ground, and you hear a mighty crack from his hand. And he shakes it out and gets back into position. That'll make it your turn.
All right.
And actually, he will have moved, because that was 10, 15, 20 feet to right here. Now it is your turn.
Okay. Okay, that is... math. 25
Yeah, that'll hit.
and 24.
That'll hit too.
Okay, 9 and 9.
18 more points of damage. Got it. Much like you, this guy looks like he's so angry that he's tougher to damage currently. That brings us to Edward's turn.
Little hand's gonna come over, and this time around, the hand is just going to mechanically. I'm giving Narok the help action, but I'm just going to have the hand grab a hold of his trouser belt to sort of hold him in place temporarily
Okay.
to delay his movements,
Gotcha.
and that's what I'm going to do.
Understood. For his turn, bonus action, he's going to grab that branch behind him, and he's going to sort of pull it back and aim to have it sort of swing into your face. So go ahead and give me that insight check, or that insight check again.
That is 20.
20. You're not falling for his tricks again. It hits you square in the face, but you're unfazed. He's going to make his 2 attacks at you that are Bane. So that is 14 plus 5 is a 19 to hit. And 10 minus 4 plus 5 is a 15 to hit.
Nope.
So the pugilist is unable to connect. That will bring us to your turn. As I take his Bane off, and you have advantage on your first attack.
That is a 26. And then my next attack is a 25.
Yeah, both of those are going to connect.
And 9 and 9.
Understood. He takes another mighty 8 damage from you. As you slam your fist over and over, targeting. You've started to notice that he's favoring his left rib cage. You hit him there once last round, and he favored it. So now you're just banging into that one weakened spot. Like a predator after prey, you've sensed a weakness. Edward.
I am going to hold my action to use the telekinetic ability to move him 5 feet, or at least attempt to, before Narak swings his next swing. I'm going to attempt to draw him 5 feet to the ground to knock him prone. By pulling on his belt.
That is outside of the scope of the ability, but it's cool. So I'm going to let you roll an Arcana check to see if it works.
Cool. That's a 19 on the die.
It'll work.
Sweet.
All right, so his turn. He's going to circle around, and as he does, he's going to kick you in the shin as hard as he can with his dirty tricks. Go ahead and give me the insight check.
That's a 12.
17. So he gets you this round. He kicks you in the shin so hard that your world goes whack, and he's going to take his 2 swings. That's a 24 and a natural 20.
Both hit.
So the first one's going to do 4 plus 3 is 7 points of damage, cut in half to 3, cut in half to 1. And the second is going to do 4 and 3 is 7. 7 plus 4 is 11, cut in half to 5, cut in half to 2. And since he crit, that means one random item in your inventory is going to take a notch. Because you don't wear armor.
I don't.
So, from top to bottom, it's going to be the 6th item in your inventory.
Okay.
What is it?
Rations.
He smushed your sandwich, man.
I'm already raging.
Man,
What
your
else you
crackers are going to be all crushed up.
Not to be able to enjoy
Okay.
the stew later.
Your chips will be good though. They were mostly air to begin with.
He did your chef Boyardee.
They were lays. They were already broken. He just gave me more.
That's my secret. They've always been broken. So he's going to go over here. And he's going to grab and take a drink because he knows Narok can see nothing. Thinking he's safe. Narok, what would you like to do?
He kicked me in the shin and I can't see anything.
Yep.
Oh.
The ability gives you, it's the blinded condition till the end of your turn.
Okay.
That's what his dirty tricks do. I was just trying to give it a little more flavor than he throws sand in your face every round.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm blinded. Can I make it a perception check to hear where he went?
You're really good at those. Go ahead.
That's a 25.
You know, your DC was kind of high because, like, the people are cheering and it's loud, but you focus those ears. You have a feeling that he's about 20 feet to your right.
Okay. Do you remember Goldberg?
Yes. Are you going to spear him?
Yes.
Okay. So this is how this is gonna work, right? Go ahead and move your character and point to me which square you're going to attack.
So if I hurt him 20 feet. I mean, logically, I'd say here, but
So we're going 5, 10, 15, 20, right? You move 20 feet there.
yeah,
Which of those 3 squares adjacent to you, top, middle, or bottom, are you attacking? You just
top,
ping.
middle, or bottom, like that.
Yes.
I'm gonna go for the bottom.
I turn your vision back on.
Okay.
You nailed it.
Okay.
Roll your attack at disadvantage.
Okay. 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 So that was not that bad. So I rolled a 15 and then I rolled an 18. So
You're gonna hit with either.
perfect.
His AC is a 15.
Oh, and that wasn't adding my plus to it.
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
I know. So you spear into him. Since you flavored your attack, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna knock him prone from that. Roll your, and that's gonna be a flat 9 damage again, right?
Yes.
And at the end of your turn, you can see Edward Colai.
I'm going to move and right here. And Flavor, I'm going to offer the help action again. And whenever he goes to stand up, I'm just going to take his pant leg and pull it out.
Okay.
Kind of thing, almost like it's keeping him prone slightly longer than he'd like to be.
Okay. For his turn, he's going to expend half movement to stand up. Fix that prone marker. And he's getting pretty frustrated because this isn't working out the way he wants it to. And he goes to swing, and when he does, he's going to go to swing, and when he does, he's going to try to poke you in the eyes. Go ahead and roll me that insight check.
He did. That's a 17.
15. He goes to poke you in the eyes, and you just sort of stand up straight, and he pokes you in the chin. And then he's going to sort of jump and try and give you the old 1-2. 1-2. So that's going to be a 16 and a 24. So he manages to connect with 1 and do a whopping 1 on the dice. So 4 points of damage cut in half to 2, cut in half to 1. That will bring it to your turn as he lands on his feet, getting ready to wallop you a second time.
Reading the YouTube comments, all I can think of is like grabbing 2 mugs of ale, splashing them together and drinking, and then just punching it.
All right, 316.
I mean, you're right. You took 5 feet this way. This sad guy's got like 4 glasses.
Oh, no, he doesn't. I do that, and then with my I just deck him once.
You take the ale, pour it down, Stone Cold Steve Austin, start yelling about 3/16 or something, and then wail into this guy. Make your attack at advantage +2.
Oh, okay. That would be a 28.
28. Yeah, you slam into this guy hard.
That's just another 9 damage.
Go ahead and add a D4 to the damage to that.
Oh, okay. 4.
So 9 turns into 13, 13 turns into 12, turns into 6 points of damage to him.
How's he looking?
I mean, he looks like he's taking a beating. He's still standing.
Yeah.
He looks like he can keep going for maybe, quite a while longer. He probably won't outlast you since you change everything to 1 damage. But he started with a lot of health. Especially being that he's a CR1 thing. But anyways, he angrily. Oh, I'm sorry, Edward. You're next.
So, for this round, seeing that this guy is a little, he seems to be a little bit hardier than originally expected. And, Edward he's very impatient. He wants to see this done.
Make a medicine check.
That might still be pretty good. Hold on a second.
You're a physician. Add your
It's
profession dice as well.
D4, right?
Should be. You don't have your D4s ready?
I know, it's terrible. Edward
You're supposed to be a professional.
I am a professional in being unorganized. So that's a 3 plus 1 from profession die to a 4, and
5,
medicine.
6, 7, 8, 13.
8, 9, 10. 12.
12.
I get to add 8.
You needed a 12. Come on. Yeah.
Okay. Seeing that he is still looking incredibly hardy, I'm going to use one of my 2 sorcery points.
The other.
Telekinesis already removes the components from each
Okay.
hand.
Right.
So it's
okay.
already settled for me.
Gotcha.
But I'm going to use the first of my 2, and I need him to make an intelligence saving throw as he just starts to hear this piercing whine start to ring and ring and ring as I cast Mind Stone. I need a 14.
There's a 9 on the dice.
Cool.
Plus. So that's a total of 8.
Figured he wasn't very brave.
So
So
he's a professional fighter by trade, so
he's probably taken one too many punches.
Little brain damage. Edward could fix that.
I could fix it permanently for him if he'd let me. So he's going to take 2 psychic damage, and he is effectively Bane.
yeah. But that's only on saving throws and saves, right? Doesn't affect
From the
attacks.
next saving throw it makes before the
Yeah.
end of my next turn.
Not attacks, that's important. Okay, yeah. You see Narok's nose start to bleed as he sort of favors the left side of his head, but then he hops back as he looks around, wondering what the heck just happened. And that'll make it his turn. So what he's going to do here is he's going to dance around like a butterfly. And as he gets over here, he's going to go down to the ground, sweep up some sludge and mud from the ground, and stand up really fast, sending it flying at your beard. For his dirty trick. What's your insight check?
Insight check is a natural 20 plus 3.
That's nice. He rolled a 16 plus 3 for a 19. So since you add +3 and he adds +3, we can just do this as a dice off from now on, so it's a little bit quicker, okay?
Perfect.
Cool. So he tries to get you with it, but it just doesn't quite connect. You don't take 2 more swings. And you know what? He's going to chance it because he knows that it didn't connect. He's going to reckless. Crap. That's a 12 with the first one. Oh, there we go. That's more like it. 24 with the second one. That's going to be 6, cut in half to 3, cut in half to 1 point of damage to you. And he is now an easy target. And that brings it back to you, big guy. Narok the Bear Kiss. As this guy, he sort of slings this mud, and when he does, he feints with the right hand and causes you to dodge left right into his right as he was swinging. And it jars you a little bit before you get back into the fight.
All right. I have a 15 and a 21 to hit.
Was that 15 rolled at advantage?
It is now higher.
Understood. I'm giving you your chance to crit.
Okay.
All right, but both of those will hit. They do 9 damage each, so that'll be another 8 points of damage to his hit points. And that will... Yep, that makes him bloody. And you have 2 rounds of rage left. Anything else?
No, that'll do it.
All right, Mr. Kolai.
Carefully gauging him, seeing that he looks like he's taken a decent beating, but he's probably still pretty hardy. I'm going to move my mage hand to right here, and I'm going to give him the help action one more time. And how I'm flavoring it this time is I'm going to try and return the dirty trick of,
Okay. And for his turn, he's going to keep the reckless, and he's going to first dirty trick. Oof. I rolled. Well, what'd you get on the dice?
I got a 13.
2. He tries to line up a dirty trick, and when he does, you see him grab one of his eyes quickly. And as he's holding his eye, he tries to quickly pop, 2 jabs into your thigh. That's 7 and 7. So he just doesn't. He aims for your leg, but he misses your leg. He's holding his eye. He's hurting pretty bad from that. He's favoring that left side of his ribs. What would you like to do? You hear this guy here saying, yeah, break his ribs. Break his leg. Break something, big guy. All my money's on you. And you feel a hand touch you on the shoulder.
I'm gonna keep concentrating on those ribs, trying to get in some of those kidney shots, because I'll tell you what, those hurt so bad.
Yeah, they really do. Roll 2 attacks at advantage. You reckless.
Okay. That first one is 19.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one is a crit.
All right, so 9 and 10 damage. So 9 turns into 4, 10 turns into 5. Anything else?
No.
You're happy to keep it stationary. He wants to keep it moving, keeps it fluid, keeps it loose. He goes over here to this plant, and he's going to try that one again. Hit you in the face with a branch. 8. His tricks are getting tired, and you're too tough to fall. He's gonna try and hit. Oh. 17, 2, 18. He's still favoring that eye and that rib on that side. He just can't put enough force behind it to destroy your barbarian pecs. Edward Colai.
This time, this hand is going to fly over, and Three Stooges style, he's going to honk his nose a twist and give the help action once more.
It's so very odd, Narok. You see this guy's nose move in the most unnatural way possible. Almost like it's calling out to be a target. But on his turn, he's just going to get really angry and keep swinging. 1, 2, and do nothing.
Alright, and this is my last round of this rage, right?
Yep, after this round, it is done with.
Okay. How can I do this? So what I'm thinking is like picking him up and just yeeting him against the back wall here.
Okay.
Which that would be a grapple, yeah.
Yes, it would be a shove attempt specifically, to try and push him.
So that's athletics, correct?
Yes, it would be an opposed athletics check. Do you have double digits?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it succeeds.
He's raging though. He has advantage on strength checks.
You're right. Do you have double digits?
Yes.
I rolled a 5 and a 2.
Oh, good.
So you shove him back 10 feet, an extra 5 feet because of your abilities, and then he falls prone.
All right. That is the end of my turn, I guess.
Edward Colai.
Looking at him, I have to make another medicine check to try and gauge him again. I'm gonna do that. I would like to try and gauge to see how close to falling over he might be.
Roll a medicine check. You need a 12.
Easy. God, he's a tough bastard.
Don't you guys like your rope stats?
Cool. Bonus action, move the hand next to him.
Okay.
Can't use my action.
You already used your action.
Yeah, I can't use it to do anything else.
He's going to get up. He's going to charge. He's going to use his bonus action to re-rage. That goes away. That goes away. That goes back to 10. And then he's going to make 2 more reckless attacks at you. 1. 2. Let's see. We've got a 22 and a 22. Both connect.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be 7 points with the first one cut in half to 3. And the second's going to be 6 points cut in half to 3. So that'll be a total of 6 damage to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's your turn.
Bonus action to rage once again.
You refocus that northern anger.
And a 16 and a 20 something.
Yeah, both of those are going to hit.
Mm-hmm.
So 9 and 9 turns into 8 points of damage to him. Oof. Wait a sec. Nope, you're 1 point shy, aren't you? You are 1 point shy of bloody.
I am. Yeah.
So you slam into him 2 more times, hammering into that weak spot into his ribs. He's gotten to the point in the fight where, like, now he's like turning his body away from you to try and guard it even more. But it's giving him a real disadvantage of damaging you. You standing still like the mountain?
Yeah.
Edward.
Okay. All right. And we'll fly to there. And this time I'm just going to have his pants sort of give him an impromptu wedgie as I give the help action.
Okay.
Just full Three Stoogie.
As he does, he looks around, and his eyes lock on you.
I keep drinking. As there's another tug on his pants.
Out of curiosity, is Edward cheering Narok on by going, whoop, 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 whoop?
I'm just holding up that wine skin that I got at the cave that's filled with nothing but hard whiskey.
Yeah.
Drinking from it.
2 more attacks. First is a natural 20. Then the second is a 20 to hit, and that doesn't connect.
Correct.
So for the crit, that's going to be 4 and 4 and 3. So 8 and 3 is 11. 11 turns to 5. 5 turns to 2 points of damage to you. And
Bloodied.
you are bloody. And the second item in your inventory takes a notch.
Oof.
What's
my
that
poor my poor bedroll.
one?
Breaks one of the clasps holding it on.
That's going to be
Zipper's ruined.
It's any military sleeping bag ever.
I'm just imagining a puff of feathers.
Bastard, that was meant to be the pillow parts.
I just got that from mypillow.com. Narok, your turn.
All right. So this first one's at advantage, correct?
Both of them are at advantage.
Oh, okay.
You've been reckless attacking.
Oh, wow. Okay. So the first one is a crit,
10 points of damage.
and the second one is a crit.
Another 10 points of damage. This guy doesn't look like he can take many more of those. As
Yeah.
you grab him by the mustache, and you pull him forward, and just 2 haymakers right into the ribs before you let him go.
Yeah.
Pick the man up by his mustache. I know what his next dirty trick is, though. Edward.
It's funny. I rolled 3 and then 20 and then 3 and then 20.
That's awesome.
Remind me again, John. I know I can give the help action to give Narok advantage. Am I able to impose to give him disadvantage in any way as an action? No, I didn't think so.
No, distract like that is a special ability of certain things.
Yeah, that's right.
Like flying snake. Flying snakes can distract.
Yeah, don't remind me. Okay, he's not wearing armor, is he?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
He is bare-chested, wearing a pair of trousers.
I would like to try and pull the trousers down.
Okay. You once again providing the help action, or are you hoping for something else mechanically?
I'm hoping to cause him to use one of his attacks to try and fix his pants. Or maybe waste his action to fix his pants.
Give me that intelligence sleight of hand again.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
It's a pretty tough belt. You missed it by 2. You can succeed at a penalty.
Yeah, I'm gonna succeed at a penalty.
Roll a d10.
Five.
And roll it one more time.
4.
4. 4 is lower. Since you failed by 2, you have to roll it twice and take the lower. Does that make sense?
Okay.
If you were to fail by 3, which is the farthest you can succeed with a penalty, roll it 3 times and take the lowest.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
Cool. So, succeed
Sorry
with a
for this
penalty.
penalty system. This is the first time I'm using it, so.
Wounds and injuries, no. Degrees of success, thank you. And you said number 4.
Yes.
Interesting. Huh. Huh.
Is it something interesting, John?
You know, it's very interesting. I'm just trying to figure out how to flavor this. So when you do this, you focus as hard as you can to cause the spell to do this, and when you do, you feel a bit of arcane energy lash out at the 4th item in your inventory that takes 2 notches.
Oh.
What is it?
That would be my herbalism kit.
You hear your herbalism kit as it breaks because it only has 2 notches.
Yep.
And your vials and such go shatter. Just broken. But you do pull his pants to the ground. Magic can be unpredictable sometimes.
Can be.
For his turn, he will try to use his action to pull his pants back up and tie his belt real quick. One of them's an item interaction, the other is his action. And with his bonus action, he's going to try a dirty trick so that he can go for a breather. Give me that insight check.
19.
10. So when he does this, he goes, his pants fall to the ground and he hurries up and picks them up and ties them back together. He goes, "What's that over there?" And that's his turn. You feel like he's starting to run on fumes.
Yeah.
8 rounds left to your rage. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna keep hitting them.
Yeah, go for it.
The first one is a 17, and the second one is a 17 plus 8, and then 17 plus 8.
Yeah.
So 9 and 9.
You slam twice more into the ribs. He starts coughing up blood from what you imagine is some sort of internal injury that you're giving him.
I'll look at him and say, "You can end this."
Edward.
See, mage hand to there. I'd like to make another medicine check to see how hurt he's looking.
Okay. Still need a 12.
Yes. 11 on die. I'm going to yell out to him. You might want to listen. He caved in the last skull that he punched like this.
Okay.
And that's going to be my turn.
For his turn, he's going to. Yes, I can end this. He's going to blow everything that he's got. One. That's a nat 20. Two. That's a nat 2. So 2 hits and a crit. Don't start this again. No. But so 2 hits and a crit as he blows every resource that he has. So first hit is going to be 6, cut in half to 3, cut in half to 1. Second is going to be 5, cut in half to 2, cut in half to 1. And the crit, so that is 2 damage from the first 2 hits. And then the crit is going to be 4 and 4 and 3. That's 11, cut in half to 5, cut in half to 2 points of damage. Jeez, you're friggin' tough. Or should I say, you're durable. But he slams into you with everything that he's got. And with that crit, how many items do you have in your inventory?
16.
Okay, then I'll keep using, I'll do 2d8 then. That's what I'll roll for your inventory.
Okay.
7 item takes a notch.
God, just that my hempen rope.
That one breaking actually might be important though.
No, I know.
It's okay, I got extra.
And he goes to use that and it's got some notches and it just snaps. That would suck.
Don't worry, it'll be fine.
7 rounds remaining. This guy's on fumes now. So are you. What would you like to do?
Well, I would like to crit him on my first hit, and I'll just hit him for the second hit.
Okay. That'll be 5 and 4. Another 9 points of damage to his hit points. On his turn, yeah, he's going to go for it. He's going to try and finish you off. So he can survive one more round with you. Bop, bop. Dirty trick first. He's going to crouch down and aim for the dangly bits.
19.
20, he gets you.
Nice.
I'm gonna say, please roll a natural 1 and break your hand. That would be so hilarious.
Not that kind of campaign. Though it felt like it there for a minute. Alright, so then, since your eyes are gone, he's going to take 2 swings at you. Where'd that other dice go? There you go. 1 is a 20 to hit. 2 is a 24 to hit. It's going to be 2 plus 3 is 5, cut in half to 2, cut in half to 1 point of damage. And that brings it to your turn.
Okay. Oh, he ran away.
Are your eyes still working?
Yeah.
Oh crap.
If you want to do that again.
No, it's fine. But
Okay.
you don't know where he is.
Okay. Um. hmm. Okay, I don't know where it is. He's bleeding.
He is.
Can I do a perception to smell for him?
Absolutely. That's what it is. That should change things, right? Let's see. Yes, perfect. That's what I wanted.
21.
21. 20 feet ahead of you and 5 feet north of you.
20 feet ahead of me, 5 feet north of me. So here.
Yep, he is within 5 feet of you right now.
Okay. I'm going to attack. I'm going to roll a d4 to narrow down where I'm going. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And so it doesn't matter what I swing, I miss him.
Yes, you do.
You know who doesn't miss? Kaylee Kelso in chat. Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Kale. I appreciate you, buddy.
It's Kaylee.
It's Kayle. His name's Kale. He's an
name's
old
Kale,
player of mine.
yeah.
Oh, Kale. Kaylee, whatever.
Yep, his name's Kale. His brother's name's actually Danger.
Mm-hmm.
So to Kale and Danger, thank you guys. But at the end of your turn, your vision turns back on, and it's going to be Edward Colai. Are you doing anything? Are you able to do anything?
I am.
Do you want to chance it?
I'm going to, for my turn, I'm going to turn to Pip,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to undo the little gemstone necklace that I have. I'm going to tell him to swallow it. Try and discreetly hide the evidence of anything. Alright.
He looks disappointed. Roll a persuasion check. He doesn't want to.
Can I bribe him?
You could. It will give you advantage and him disadvantage.
I'm going to try and bribe him. I'm going to say, I think we're going to try and have fun later.
Roll with advantage. Tell me if you get higher than a 3 on the dice.
I rolled a 7 and a 14 on that.
Yeah, he got a 3 on the dice. So he swallows it angrily. That'll be your turn. This guy's turn. He's going to dance around. And as he does, pop, pop. First, he's going to try Dirty Trick one more time. Let's see how the dice fare.
17.
13 on the dice. So he tries to pull you down by the beard like you grabbed him by the mustache. And he's going to wail on you twice more. That's a 20 and a 16. So he hits you twice more. But it doesn't do anything. Your sisters fight harder than this one.
Mm-hmm.
They would have knocked you out hours ago. In reality, a minute and a half.
Yeah. So that would be a 19 and a 22 to hit him.
They both connect. That will bring him down another 8 points of life. When it does, he stops. He takes a big breath. He raises his hands up. And for his turn, he calls the fight. He declares you the winner. He was at 11 life. You just brought him to 3. He cannot take another hit from you. He's done.
I'll lean over to him. That was the best fight in a long time.
You're as tough as you look. Let me buy you a drink.
No, let me buy you a drink.
Well, you can certainly fucking afford it now. Everybody is looking very happy, except for the guy who's garnering all the bets. He looks very sad.
You didn't bet on Nurok, did you?
Well, whenever you go to look at him, he is no longer standing where he was. He is on his way out of the door.
Where are you going, my friend?
Roll a d20.
Hey!
13.
He runs.
I'm going to just whistle a piercing whistle, and I'm going to command Pip to go after him.
Yeah, the Raven starts flying after him. All these guys, not Angus, because he thinks this is hilarious. So Narok and the champion, whose name is Dawn, by the way, if I didn't say that. But he's going to go over here. Narok, you have 100 gold added to your inventory, so you're 50 plus his 50.
Jeez.
But everybody else in the room is going to be running after that guy with the money. That was my daughter's dowry, you son of a bitch.
Pip is going to give the help action to whoever can catch up to him first. Try and I imagine they're going to try and tackle him to the ground.
Well, this guy's
He's
pretty
got-
quick. We're gonna take
got
some
more money than me.
See what happens with that. But first, I would like to check in with the rest of everybody. Gavin, Barlow's, what are you doing during this fight? You know Narok's fighting. You can hear the cheering and crowd and crunching. You saw Gavin get up and go talk to his old friend across the room. Then he came back.
At one point here, James is going to get up and go over to the bar and get himself and Lizzie a drink, nothing fancy. But he's going to ask, "Oh, hello there."
Well, I declare, aren't you just a proper right gentleman? Hello, my name's Sooty, son.
Miss Sooty, thank you. And thank you for letting us into your establishment.
We're always open for customers, and especially big, burly, powerful types like you all. It makes a girl feel safe at night knowing she's got a house full of strong men to keep her there.
Well, we will certainly try. May I ask, just for my own personal feeling safe and situational awareness now, how many people do you have staying here with you tonight?
Well, we've got right at a dozen folk, not counting Ewan's.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Staying in the inn tonight.
Well, the stairs will be done. Hopefully, they will not need their assistance for anyone coming knocking at your door, if you know what I mean.
No one around these parts mess with us. We ain't got no sort of problem. Well, we got one problem, but no one's gonna mess with us. Just don't go wandering around at night. You know, they got them biters out in the woods. They come out at night.
The face biters, you say? I do fancy myself a bit of a beast slayer.
They're vile little monsters with real long arms and claws, furry ears out to here. And they crawl through the night, and they'll grab you and they bite your face off.
Sounds like a horrible beast.
Real sharp teeth, they say. Red eyes that glow in the dark when they hunt. At least that's what they say. I ain't never seen them myself, but I tell you, the aftermath of it ain't nothing pretty.
I can imagine it being something grisly.
Kisses you on the cheek, she says, and I would hate to see anything happen to a pretty face like that.
Thank you. You did slightly mention there might be a problem. Is there something we can help you with?
I wouldn't want to trouble none, especially if you're not for hire. It looks like y'all mercenaries are already working on the job.
Well, we are, but it's something we can handle on our way through, maybe.
Perhaps you said that you all was just staying the night. If you're headed eastwardly out of here, we've been having some supply problems, and my husband and I, we put together some, and we'd be willing to pay someone to go out to where we buy our beef from. You see, the steak is our big seller here, and the town that supplies us with our beef has recently stopped selling us as much as usual. A little place by the name of Anvermere.
Right, I believe I've heard of it.
Really?
You know, you hear lots of places, you know, living on the road and whatnot. Can't say that I've been there. Might have heard.
It's about 2 days travel east of here, on the road, but that's where we buy our beef from, and they go on to selling us only about a quarter of what it is they used to sell us. And I don't want no trouble. I don't want you to cause them no trouble. I would be willing to throw some gold coins your way, some Leora, if you was to just find out what's going on and tell me, because they're not being very what's the word in this foreign tongue? Forthwith.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
And then she's going to start speaking Castanellan. Do you speak Castanellan?
Nope.
You don't understand a word she says.
As lovely as that sounds, my dear, I don't know what you're saying.
Oh, I heard the accent. You sounded like you're from the homelands. That'll be all right. I
picked it up.
You and yours are headed that way. You can tell me what's going on in Anvermere. That they're not wanting to sell to us no more. I want to make sure there's no personal problems between us and the ranch owner out that way. It's a fella by the name of. And she tells you the name a whole lot faster than John does, apparently. I'm sorry about that. I went the wrong way in my notes. I went down instead of up.
Whoops.
Come on. Here we go. A fellow by the name of Taslin is his last name.
All right. Be sure to come across any ranchers named Taslin and ask what's going on with his supply. Could be something simple, you know. Critters got in, something simple, but I'll be sure to ask on your
I
behalf.
put 20 gold coins to the side for this, but if you get this done, I'd be willing to give you a tip.
I think it is something we might be able to handle, man.
Fantastic.
All right, you have a good evening.
You as well.
So he'll tip his hat and go back to his sister. And he'll just, as he sits down telepathically, he's like, The menu is 12.
Yes, I had someone in mind, but I believe he went to go watch Nurok fight.
Well, it is a large selection. If you need a hand, just let me know. As he sits down and is like, Gavin, we're headed eastward, correct?
Northeasterly is the planned direction.
Do you think we might be able to convince our benefactor to head a little east first? The lady here, Miss Sudi, seems to be having some trouble and make us about 20 gold.
Certainly. Actually, now that you mention it, there might be something related to that, but it might be of a more sensitive nature. James, could I discuss with you outside, possibly?
Possibly, yes. Lizzie, you'll be all right in here. Lead the way, sir.
And I lead the way outside, make sure there's no eyes. Well, there's probably eyes following us.
Well, when you go outside, you see a large group of people chasing this one fellow that looks like Malcolm McDonald. And there's a raven pecking him in the head, and he is running down the road at night. Because even though that took like 30 minutes of real life, that only took a minute and a half of game life.
Oh, he beat him that. Man,
I have a
that's really quick.
feeling that's going to end
Fights don't last
very badly.
For everyone.
Uh,
I wonder what the skinny fellow there, look, that big guy, that one there, I wonder what he did.
is there an old man chasing him as well?
Looks like.
It was my daughter's dowry, you son of a bitch!
Well, he's screwed.
I think someone may have lost a bet. Regardless, Mr. Barlow,
Mr. Gavin.
what do you know of dreamers?
Why would you ask such a thing?
Out of curiosity, if you happen to know much about them.
Well, most of them awoke 10 years ago by the dwarves there in the south. Other than that, I don't reckon much.
See, you wouldn't happen to be one, would you?
Why does it matter?
I have no judgment whatsoever towards dreamers or their kind. But if you are one, that may be very useful for both of us. You see, the person who I was speaking to in the corner may have information related to goings-on in the East. Rumors are, of course, dreamers have the ability to steal into people's minds, rob them of their dreams. If you happen to be a dreamer, you, and possibly your sister, might be able to acquire information that dear gentleman was not necessarily forthcoming about.
And if I was so inclined or gifted with such ability as what would be in it for me? Stealing into someone's dreams, that is breaching privacy levels that I would not dare.
He's made mention of people traveling eastwards to a city. You mentioned a city eastwards that happens to be having some sort of difficulty.
And perhaps.
Quite probably. Wait, that's the city to the east?
And do believe that is what Miss Sudi said.
If we are to head eastward, then that might be information that is very, very pertinent for us to have. All I ask is that you also share information that you learn, whatever it may be.
Information has value. Secrets of value. I have a feeling this will be a one-for-one deal.
Sorry, I'm having a bit of a headache at the moment. World seems to have split and divided and shundered. There we go. I'm sorry, my vision split there. I didn't get a very good rest last night. Something seemed to be off in my dreams.
Well, that is absolutely a shame.
Yes, felt very invasive.
Certainly not as can be considered evasive, if that's what you're talking about.
If you're interested in secrets, I'd be willing to trade in secrets. Though I don't know what secrets you would imagine I would have. But regardless,
I
do we
could
have an
imagine
accord?
they could be numerous.
Certainly. Do we have an accord, Mr. Barlow? Share and share alike.
Do not spread of who I am. It is a powerful ability.
Not to worry, Mr. Barlow. I am a man who is very respectful of most privacies. And he holds out his hand.
Now, warn you, sometimes people can, from what I hear, block abilities such as these. Say unsuccessful, I cannot promise.
It is worth a try, at least.
Very well. Shake your hand.
Wonderful. All right. I think this right here is going to be a good point for us to call it before we get into too many more shenanigans tonight.
By the way, that conversation was not private. He was telecomming it to his sister.
Yeah, that's fine. Fantastic. All right. So, Dark Watches and player characters, I hope that you enjoyed this week's episode of Pact Tactics. I appreciate the commenters out there, Amy and Kale, and anyone else who might have joined in today. Remember, Dark Watchers, if you are active during our show, we will respond. And you are in this world just as much as anyone else because our dear doctor is haunted by Dark Watchers.
Yep.
And it will give you opportunities to interact with the party in the world as you watch the show. But as our episode draws to an end for this week, thank you for tuning in. We hope to see you again next week, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, right here on the Pact Tactics YouTube and the Pact Tactics Twitch. And until next time, everybody, stay spooky.
Don't forget, this Saturday we're doing rebroadcast of this episode, so if you came in late, you can catch up at the beginning half of it.
There we go. Thank you, Ray.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else?
That starts at 12 or 12:30 EST.
Somewhere in there.
All right, that's the other thing I forgot to say because my notes are jumbled. Please like and subscribe, ring that notification bell, and help us win against the YouTube algorithm boss battle. Thank you, everyone. See you next week.
See you next week.